Kia ora, everybody. Alright, I think I'm functional. My phone is not on silent. It doesn't help. Let's go here. We'll find if everything's good. Hello. Kia ora double A, kia ora Yana. Welcome in. Yes, I am semi-late today. I didn't mean to be late. I mean, I did wake up late. I did get to the desk late. And I was like, I'm running late. And then I put a video on while I set up. And I got really engrossed in this video. And then I look up and it's 9:05. And I'm like, okay. Close. Quickly boot everything up because I hadn't started. So, yeah, it's literally why the title is, I'm running so late I haven't even thought of a title. Because I hadn't. Oh, hello. You're back. Ugh, not meant to do this. Oh, not meant to do that. Not meant to do that, but we'll do that because he's going to be a pest otherwise. He's so naughty. He got up here last night when I wasn't here. I just posted it as one of the photos in my story for like, why aren't you at stream? Don't show your butt off on camera. And he jumped up here and he was not letting me type or get to work. It was just like staring at me right in the face. Like, why aren't you giving me the pat? So I had to pick him up and put him down on the floor last night. But yes, welcome in everybody. I hope you're all doing well. It is Friday. It is also a Friday that we have a massive storm watch in place. It is grey and disgusting outside. It's also very, very humid and sticky right now. So it is going to bucket down later on. We have another heavy rain warning. We've just had a bunch of flooding. There was also a little tornado here last weekend. New Zealand's been hit by quite a bit of flooding lately. Nothing quite like Texas, although there was a death. But we've got already very saturated ground and we're still cleaning up after last week's floods, and we're getting more rain, like more heavy rain. There's meant to be even more hitting tonight than last weekend, and the grounds are already saturated. So fingers crossed everyone stays safe, especially hearing about Texas and that flooding, because oh my goodness. But let's not go into sadness. But the point of me telling you about all the storming and stuff, it is like, it's meant to hit later on today, like work time. It'd be wonderful if we lost power at work time. Just saying, you know, it'd be really, really, really nice if we lost power at like 4:25 till 6:30, and then I just couldn't work tonight. No, it wouldn't be great. I need pay because I've had to take time off. So yeah, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't bucket down too strongly and cause a bunch of outages. But it's mostly it's sticky and hot. No, you can't drink iced coffee. There's not even milk in it. Don't give me that look. Oh, Yana. I'm glad you got the date. Getting the date is the best part. Like, at least having that date. Stop showing your butt on camera. Yeah, so because I am technically a casual, I don't get paid for taking time off work. So how casual works here in Aotearoa, because of course you're part-time, full-time, casual, or contract, which you can be contract, full-time, contract, part-time, contract, casual. So I am casual, which means I don't get holiday pay, I don't get sick pay, I don't earn annual leave. But because I don't earn those perks of working, I get an extra 8% of my paycheck. So that's meant to be the sort of caveat of it, of like, you don't earn those perks, which are a legal requirement in New Zealand, but in turn, you get a little bit more in your paycheck because you have to cover them yourself. Yeah, so that's quite cool in the sense, like, New Zealand law is employment law. I have, fun fact about Amy, I actually have a law certification. So a legal administrator certification, I think it is. I don't know, I'd have to look up the actual name. It's basically, I have the certification to work under a lawyer, not to practice as a lawyer, but to do some things within the law, because that was a route I was going down before I realized that I really actually didn't want to do that, and then changed to psychology, and then we got sick. So yeah, I actually have legal executive studies. That's the name of the certification. Yeah, like a paralegal. I think a paralegal is the equivalent in the States, where you can do paperwork and you can do some legal type related stuff, but you're not a lawyer. And that just comes from the fact that I started in that because A, it was a degree I could do externally, but I was actually really fascinated by law. I'm a weirdo who likes to read laws. I find them fascinating. I find laws absolutely fascinating to read. And so I really did enjoy the course. I enjoyed the work. I didn't enjoy actually working in a law firm. And I realized what I wanted from it was actually the aiding of people, that I didn't want to be like the majority of the work over here is processing house sales, and I didn't want to do that. That didn't appeal to me. I wanted to help people, and I realized it was actually the psychology route that I wanted to go down. So my original plan was finish the psychology, and I had multiple routes I could go from there. I could do art therapy. I could, because of the legal, I could also go and work within the prison sector and the criminal sector, which was actually something that was quite appealing to me. My major in psychology was child and adolescent developmental psychology as well. So there was like working with the young offenders as a counsellor, which was actually something I was genuinely looking into when I got ill. The hard thing is now is that because of my ankylosing spondylitis, I have limited mobility and limited capability, so I'm only allowed to work 2 hours a day. And unfortunately, most of the counselling jobs that I've looked at won't allow me to work such little hours. Most of them are full-time and need you full-time. So I did look at potentially, like, there's some call centre type counselling jobs which don't technically need counsellors, but like don't need qualified counsellors. I just need people that are trained. I would be a qualified counsellor because I have a degree. Counselling's a whole thing here in New Zealand in terms of terms and stuff like that. We're getting into some really weird stuff here. Anyway, that's not what we're here for. I mean, I can carry on with it if you're interested, but yeah. Yeah, basically those were all the plans, and then COVID hit, which I was working in a lab full-time while studying full-time during COVID, by the way. So that was chaos time, and then that's when I started flaring up and had, like, I've been experiencing flares for years, but never identified what it was, and then I had my big flare up that left me immobile and then ended up in hospital, and that's never fully recovered from that, unfortunately. So yeah, it changed a lot of the plans. Yeah. No, that's all good, Endo. If you need to do lurky streams are valid, you know? Like, protect your social spoons. I will often hang out in someone's stream and not say hi, which I know can be hard, especially if you're the streamer and there's no one to chatting in there. And I do feel bad about it, but sometimes you need that, like, social protection, if that makes sense. You need to protect your spoons. So if you need to be lurky. Like, I get it so much. Yeah. And retired clinical therapist. Yeah, it's so intriguing, Yana. It was definitely the route I was looking forward to going down before everything changed. And I'm not saying that, like, we won't go back to that route, but right now, the job that I'm at is very good at working with me with the hours that I can work, and working with me with the limitations. And again, the casual works out well, because if I'm having a really bad pain day, I can ring up and go, nah, can't work today. And that's my right as a casual, which is why we've left me as casual, because they can technically go, yeah, we don't need you today, but I have rostered regular hours. I'm not technically casual, I'm technically part-time, but keeping me casual allows me to ring up and go, nah, I'm too sore today, I can't work, or I don't have spoons. And the other thing is, I've talked about before, one of the things that I've noticed is, for lack of better terminology, I feel dumber. I'm not dumb. I am someone who is quite intelligent. I'm very proud of the fact that I am somebody that picks up knowledge very quickly. I've always been a high achieving learner. I am finding it harder and harder to take new knowledge on and to retain new knowledge. And I push myself to keep learning because I want to keep my brain active. But I am aware that I am experiencing a lot more brain fog. I'm experiencing a lot more... No, you don't go there, Shadow. We've talked about this. You don't go there. Oh, we're going to hurt to do this. Oh. There you go. Oh, that hurt. Yeah, I'm experiencing a lot more brain fog. You'll notice a lot on my streams where I have to pause and think before I talk a lot, or I struggle. These are things that relate to chronic fatigue, which the technical name is like encephalitis myelitis, I think. I can't even remember the technical name at the moment, but it's inflammation of the brain, because mine is an inflammation disease. So chronic fatigue is inflammation of the brain. Well, part of it. But yeah, basically, brain be tired, and words be hard, and learning is hard, which is also part of the reason why I'm like, I don't know if I want to change careers, even though I did all that study to change careers so that I could go down a path I'm really interested in. I love working for the lab. I'm fascinated by the lab. But there's no challenge in the lab for me anymore. And I am someone who likes a challenge, but I'm also aware that my capabilities may not allow me to take on the challenge. So it's deciding where I want to go with that, you know? Yeah. So how it works here, I'm happy to answer this question, Artsenda. It's a great question. So I am on disability benefit. I think it's called supported living is the name for all our benefits here, but there's different variations on it. But I'm on essentially a disability benefit. I have been given a write-off by the doctors, by the specialists, who all say she is capable of working about 10 hours a week, but yeah, she's disabled. And every 5 years they have to go in and go, yep, she's still disabled. And basically I don't have to work and I get a government payout. Now, the government payout is very small. It's enough. It covers my bills. It covers everything I need. I have a little bit left over for some treats. I survive on it. And I'm not going to be rich. I don't have savings. But it's enough. And it covers me. And I'm very grateful to have it. Now, I choose to work 10 hours a week on top of that. It has been agreed by my doctor and my specialist that 10 hours a week is a really good amount for me to work. It is 2 hours a day. I don't work more than a 2-hour shift. I start getting really sore. I have done some like occasional 3 or 4 hour shifts, and it's a lot. So I find 2 hours is usually a good amount for me before my brain's sort of like out. It keeps me in a routine because if I didn't have work, there's not really a lot of other things to schedule my life around. So it keeps me in a routine. It does provide a little bit more extra money because you're allowed to earn a certain amount before your disability or your benefits start getting deducted. So I get a little bit of extra money and then they start deducting my benefit because of what I earn with work. So a little bit extra money, but part of it is independence, which is the big thing about being disabled, or I'm classified as disabled. I use a walking frame to help me mobilize, and it can be very easy to be stuck, like to not do things, to not leave the house. I don't engage in a lot of social activities outside the house. I'm very comfortable being in the house and just doing my thing in the house. I'm a person who likes to potter around home. I'm not someone who likes to go out. So it's very easy to just get lost in doing things in the house and then like it's been a week. So if I wasn't working, the only thing that would happen is I would increase streams. That would be it. I would do more streams. I would stream longer. So part of me is like, oh, it'd be nice to quit work. It'd be nice to quit work and stream more, but I would take a pay cut. And there is a certain amount of pride and independence that comes with the fact that I am still working. So yeah, I guess in a way it is a little bit of normality. Like, it is nice to say I do still work. Yeah. part of it, I mean, a big part of it is just the money. It's just extra money. And when you're on a benefit, like every dollar you can get is a good dollar sometimes. So that's my fun money. That's my colouring books and stuff like that. So not the full paycheck, just the extra money that I get. That's how I do things like buy some Sims packs, which I did last night. Which has been my other thing at the moment, is The Sims, and it almost was what I was going to do today, was play The Sims, and then it's like, oh wait, it's live stream day. Yeah, it would be nice to go out of the house sometimes to do it, and sometimes I meet up for work for social engagements and stuff like that, or pop into work and just go and chat with them and stuff, but I do work from home, which is the only way I could. That would be the other thing as well, is that while I love the lab and I enjoy my work, again, it's not a challenge to me, and I am someone who gets very stuck in the mundane. I like a challenge. I've always been that type of person. I'm looking for a challenge. Yeah, just getting stuck in the mundane. I don't know how to explain it, but if I was to find another job, it's also finding one that fulfills my requirements, because it's not like I can just go out and get any job, you know. I need to have a job that works with me and my like capabilities. So it's also just the ease of having a job that really is very flexible and very understanding of my condition. I mean, they process my blood, so they see how sick I am. Like, I can ring up and go, hey, I'm not coming into work today because I feel really, really inflamed and sore. By the way, my bloods are coming through. And, you know, my manager will be like, yeah, I saw your bloods before. Well, they're not meant to say that. They won't say that because it breaches privacy. But, you know, they'll be like, cool. But I know that they process my bloods because, again, I have to go on an audit and I can see who's processed my bloods. And half the time it's my manager anyway. Or was my manager. So, yeah, they see my blood work. They know. They know what I'm going through. So, yeah. Yeah. It is very good to have work from home as an option. Like, and I understand that Agoraphoria AA, I spent 5 years not leaving my house during a very, very bad period of my life. Fun fact, one of my colleagues came round to my apartment and bled me during that time. And then when we were talking, we realised, like, later on, we became colleagues. It was like 10 years later, it was like, wait, you were the one that came round to my house and did my bloods in my house because I couldn't leave my house. And she's like, I went to your house. It's like, what do you know? She's like, you've got a long way since then. Yeah. Yeah, benefits here can be a thing. They are getting a lot tougher with benefits too. It can be a process to get onto it, but it's also, yeah, it's a process, but if you put in the work, you can get there. Unfortunately, it's work, and like, I haven't had an issue, but every time I've had to go to Work and Income, which is our government where we go for our benefit stuff, every time I've had to go to Work and Income, I always come prepared. I make sure I have every single document. I come in, I'm freshly showered, I'm nice, I'm polite, and I treat them as human. It's as simple as it is. I treat them as if they're human, because they deal with a lot of people that don't, which is why they have to have security guards there. And because I am polite and I come in and I'm prepared and I bring in all my documents that I need to bring in, I bring in everything that I can think of that I might need, you know, and I come in and I'm prepared. I'm like, hey, I'm here because, like, I had to go in and get my glasses repaired for emergency because my glasses broke, right? So I went in for it, and I actually did this one over the phone, which was great. But they were like, okay, we need, you know, and it's like, boom, I've got it for you. Here's a copy of my bank statement to show I have no money. Yes, you have to do that. You know, here's some prices that I've looked up, or, you know, here's an estimated quote. And they're like, cool, we just give you $4.50 and then take change back. Yeah, like, I go in prepared. And it's the same thing when I took my mum in, and we went in prepared, and it was bringing in every single possible document. They're like, fantastic. Like, here you go, let's get you sorted. And they can see that you've put in the effort and they'll put in the effort, if that makes sense. Yeah. But that's my personal experience, and that comes from a place of being able to get all that stuff easily and know what I am entitled to access, and there's a lot of people that aren't entitled to access, and this can go down a whole thing about yeah we can go into a lot of very difficult and technical subjects here about political areas in New Zealand, and I'd rather not bring that up on stream, and we've been chatting for like half an hour already, so we should probably get on to colouring. But yeah, somehow wherever we ended on this, the TLDR is that I have a job and the job suits me, and we get government support for when I don't have money in the job, which is tight but doable. We survive. Like a lot of people, things are tight, but we survive. And that's the main thing. My bills are covered and I have a couple of dollars extra that I can play around with. And do things like buy Sims packs. Because that's been my deep dive at the moment. Right, so what are we doing today? Also, I made iced coffee this morning. It's very, very sweet compared to how I normally have coffee. So I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's got protein powder in it though, because it's my breakfast. Alright, the screen. We're a little off, but we're not too bad. The lucky dip of, do I line the camera up right? Because I don't start with the camera in place anymore. Which I probably should do, because it's entirely possible the focus isn't in place. Ooh, good job, Yana. Good job. That makes a different artsy endo, I guess, because here chronic pain is recognised, and all you need is chronic pain written by the doctor, and you're recognised for having it. So, yeah, like fibromyalgia is recognised as a reason. So, yeah. So we have choices, as you can see. So Kanoko, which I haven't been back to in ages, but I love this book. We've done our pirate kitties, which love our pirate kitties, and we have done our Rainbow Candy Village. And then we were working on this treehouse one. And then this bubble one was also a part of the group. And then this one is also this month's group one. So I'm a little far behind in my own group. So we could carry on with Kanoko. But then I also have Leon's Journey that I haven't worked in yet. And part of me is tempted to work in Leon's Journey, which is the new one by Kanoko Egusa and follows a cat. So it's very cat themed today. If we do Leon's Journey, we will be starting with this page here, which is our character introduction page. So we'll have Leon to colour, we've got Lily, Latte and Mocha, the puppies, and Baron the owl. There's also little Marie, a little mouse here. So yeah, I'm not sure. I can't decide which cat book to go for, basically. So yeah, let me know. Would you rather see Leon's Journey or Kanoko? Is there one that you would prefer? And each of that page in Leon's Journey? Yeah, it just feels like a good starting page. And again, we'll track our colours. Because I know with Leon's Journey, we're going to do Leon Black. Because of course we are. I love my black kitties. Sorry, I'm just also going to take my meds while I remember. Also sweet. And if anyone's wondering what this is, it is things to make bathroom easier, because not allowed to have a hard bathroom at the moment. Ugh. Ugh. So sweet. I should have made black coffee. I mean, I did make black coffee, but yeah, it's just like, oh, I'll make a protein coffee for breakfast. It's just very sweet. I had black coffee as well. Leon would be my choice since I don't have the other book. Don't have Story of Precious Cats. Okay. One vote for Leon. We'll just use you. This bottle is so sticky. Honestly, the amount of times I've spilt the stuff on my top and it's like solidified and crystallized into like sugar hard granules. So nasty. I love the idea of Black Kitty. I have Leon in my 2B colored stack. Oh yeah, because I would choose Naoko. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll go with Leon because I think this will be a good one to get into anyway. And then maybe we'll carry on with Naoko afterwards. We'll take our coloring page tracker and I need a pen. So this is just a little free printable. You can technically find it on my Ko-fi. Yes, it is a colored book, so it helps to get that done. This is what I just used to record colors so that if I am coming back, for example, if I am working in a book like this and wanting to keep my colors consistent, which is exactly what I've done for Kanoko. We have color trackers so that I can keep my colors consistent for the cats throughout the book. Do you have any pain from the surgeries? It's mostly gone. Honestly, I don't even feel a thing in the surgery. I feel it if I try to lift something. So lifting shadow off the desk before. I feel that. Yeah, so I feel it if I lift something. I feel it when I stand up and sit down because it uses my core muscles. And I feel it when I go to the bathroom because that uses muscles down there too. So yeah, apart from those three situations, if I'm not, like if I'm just sitting at the desk, I honest to God don't feel it. It's not too much work. What size is that book? Around A4? This piece of paper is A4. So this is an A4 piece of paper. Leon's Journey, Neko, they are your standard square books. They are the same size as, I have none of them here, but your Kirby's, your Joanna Basford's, your Millie Mariottas, your Mythographics, that standard square size. Yeah. The square size that all colouring books seem to be. Except now there's another square size because of cozy colouring. But yeah, the square size. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Now, this paper feels wonderful and slightly textured and like it's going to be amazing for Polychromos pencils. And I am someone who, for Kanoko Egusa, I really like working only with pencils, and it's so weird that I do with Kanoko Egusa, but it just works so well. I made Leon a ginger kitty. My Roddy is the model. Cute. Right, full screen projector. Oh, we're not badly. No, we're actually in focus. We could be a little clearer. Let's see if we can. Nope, that's the face cam. That's the... I can bring you in a bit more. No. Wow. Yeah, none of you are changing at all. I don't know what's going on there. I think it needs an update again. I hate when it does that. Alright, well that means that's the best we're going to get. Cool. Close. It's also stuff I try to do before stream, but it doesn't always happen. It's fantastic. It's normal to feel pain in the muscles. Yeah. Yeah, no, it'll be 2 weeks on Monday, so yeah, honestly, like, really, really good, considering. Like, my information was that I was meant to stay a few days in hospital. I was meant to have 2 weeks off work. I stayed not even 1 day in the hospital. I was basically, next morning, they're like, you can go home. And, like, I only took a week off work. Yeah, Mum's still like, no, you're not driving and stuff like that, which is fair enough. So Monday is 2 weeks, and then we're going to try me driving. We're just going to drive around the back streets because, like, to drive, you need to be able to slam on the emergency brake in an emergency, and that takes core muscles. So that's the one thing that right now I'm really looking forward to, because Mum doesn't drive, so it's not like we can just pop out to the supermarket to get things or pick up bits and pieces. So that's the part that is the hardest. So I'm very much looking forward to being able to drive again. And then being able to just go out and get Coke Zero, which is the thing that I've been missing the most. Because I have no caffeine except for coffee. By the way, if anyone didn't see it, this is our page from last time. The glitters have all now dried, so we've got our little flowery glitter fields down there. And my favourite part, the clouds with the star glitter. I love how this glitter turned out. This is the Stickles gel paste in Nebula, and I just freaking love it. It's made me so, so happy. So yeah, really love how Little Witch turned out there. Okay. Yeah, I prefer pencils in my book as well. There's something about it. I don't normally like just working in pencils, but Kanuko's book, perfect. Okay, so of course we'll start with Leon. So as I said, he's going to be a black cat, and we're going to take inspiration from Shadow for this, which I may regret, because Shadow is also going to be 15 in December. So, like, we're not going to finish this book before Shadow passes on, unless he surprises us all to be one of those cats that lives to like 26. And even then, maybe not. But yeah. Yeah, he's probably, like, Mum and I were talking about it, and, you know, like, he's definitely becoming a grumpy old man. But yeah, he's gonna be 15, and, well, around 15. We don't even know his exact age, because he was adopted in December of 2013, and he was he was over 2 years old when he was adopted. They couldn't tell his exact age, but he was over 2. And so we've had him for almost 13 years. So he'll be over 15 in December. So yeah, he's turning into a bit of a grumpy old man. He likes his sleeping. He likes the food he likes. Okay, so if we're thinking about Shadow, what I should do... Come on, phone. Oh, it's too humid and the fingerprint scanner's not working. I'm really going to have to bite the bullet and get a new phone soon. What I want is a picture. Alright, so this is a picture I took of Shadow last night when he wouldn't let me go to work. So he is a black cat, but as you can see, he's got a little bit of brown tinting, and this is from him being in the sun, because he loves the sun. So we definitely want to do some blacks, but we want to bring some browns into it as well. And then what you can't see under here is he has a little white patch on his tummy, and under his neck he's got like a little triangle here. So we'll also try to include that little triangle, but I think it'll work well to turn him into a black cat with a little bit of brown tinting. Is that the first page of the book? Are you going to colour the characters in the same in all the pages? That's the plan, Artsy Endo, is I'd like to, because it does follow Leon, and it is Leon's story, I'd like to keep things consistent throughout the book, which is why I want to record my colors as well, so that I know what colors I've pulled, so that I can color all the way through the same, because it does follow Leon on his journey throughout. Oh look, we're 40 minutes in and we're finally pulling out pencils. I want Lily in the book to be a Siamese like my Lily. Oh, that will be perfect. That'll be very, very, very cute. Alright, so if we imagine there's a bit of light coming this way. Where's a pencil? God, I'm so unprepared today. Sorry, I would normally be a little bit more onto it than this, but I need to clean out this pencil case. This has still got all my stuff from the hospital in it. But you have a pencil, which is the main thing. Oh, maybe I'll try and do that later on. Alright, just so I remember. Sometimes I draw a little arrow. It's a sign we need some social time. Yeah. Yeah, again, I'm also running very late this morning. It's one of those things, you know. Sometimes things happen. And that's okay. Look, we're getting there. We'll get there eventually. So I'm going to start with some burnt umber and walnut brown. And then I even have some nougat. And this is probably going to look a little odd considering I want a black cat and the fact that I'm going to start with a brown base. But this is how we're going to work that warmth in. Not necessarily over the whole thing. But in particular where the highlight areas are, we're going to try and work a bit of brown. And I'm just working lightly with the Polychromos because we are going to work back over this and we'll work in with some Jarp blacks and browns. A little bit of browns, but mostly the blacks. And that's how we'll make the fur look black, but we'll give it a brown undertint. Okay, I'm going to pull out one more just to really pick up on like the fact that he gets like a real coppery tint. Like he gets absolutely sun bleached. So I'm going to pull out a little bit of burnt sienna just to really emphasize that sun bleachiness. In particular, it really hits on his back, but we'll use it just to really bring in a bit of warmth. Yeah, I think that'll be quite a good combo to sort of bring in a bit of warmth. So, while we're at it, very importantly, because I am notorious for forgetting to do this, and then at the end I have 20 billion pencils out, and I can't remember what I've used where. So I do a little circle, and then I put 283, 280, 177, and 175. Those are my browns. I'm just going to put a little note up here, Polychromos. So again, if you need a simple color chart for tracking, it's available for free on my Ko-fi. Just go and grab it, download it, enjoy it. I just use that because it's easier to shove it up there. Wow, are you not coming up? There you are. It's the easiest place to dump files for download. Alright, let's add in. And he has like a little bit of warming around the bottom of his ears because he's got a bit of a bald spot there. You print out a bunch? Fantastic. I hope it helps you. It's just a really simple PDF. It's not anything fancy, but it does the job. Sometimes you just need those things that do the job. I usually have about 30 of them on me. They live in a folder, and then when they get low, I just print out some more, because it's the sort of thing that's just good to have on hand. Particularly if you know you've got to put pencils away or something. I'm a whip maker, not a page finisher, so yes, yeah. I'm glad you find it useful. Speaking of useful, I am inspired to go back to a whip that I've had for a while, because Candace of Happy Catastrophe, the wonderful Candace, put up a video yesterday, and it's working in the Critical Role Choose Your Own Adventure colouring book, and she's doing exactly what I was going to do. I just never went back to the page. And I have a feeling my footage is also corrupted, because I had a bunch of footage around that time that kept on corrupting as well, which is why I stopped recording videos, because I got too frustrated by it. And I haven't checked that footage, but I have a sneaking suspicion that footage is also corrupted. So even if I could finish a page, I don't know if I'd be able to actually put it out in a video form. So it was really cool to see Candace doing it. I was like, yeah, somebody's doing it. I love the baby chicken she's remembering. Yes. She's a real sweetheart. I adore Candace, so. I really need to message her on social media. I haven't been active a lot on Instagram. Not that I'm active with posting, but also haven't been active with messages and stuff like that. I know I have I think I have 34 messages to go and read. If you've messaged me on Instagram, I'll get there eventually. I haven't been on. I've been playing The Sims. Honest to God, that's all I've been doing is playing The Sims. Since my cousin mentioned it, and then I started deep diving it, and then I've been messaging a bunch of people and talking about The Sims. I was hanging out in Cassie's streams while she's been streaming The Sims, and then I ended up buying some Sims packs because of the sale. So I ended up buying Realm of Magic and Horse Ranch. I haven't started playing with those ones yet, but yeah. I was like, I'm gonna treat myself here. Spend a little bit of fun money that I'd saved up. So yeah, that's why I went to bed late and why I woke up late. Then turned partially well. I was late today because I've been playing The Sims. Alright, and then we're going to bring... So I am just working in small circles because I'm trying to get a nice smooth colour, but if my circles are getting a bit liney, like I'm not working smoothly, I'm trying to keep at least the angle of it in line with how the fur of the cat would go, so that it just adds to the fur texture of the cat. And all this is just to get our brown base down. Honestly, this doesn't look too much like Shadow the shape. The shape of it is actually more like the tabby stray that we feed. But we'll pretend. Yeah, one day I would love to be able to stream The Sims to y'all. Won't be anytime soon because my computer barely handles running The Sims. I would basically need to upgrade computer, and it would need to be a very fancy computer, or it would need to be upgraded and then use my capture card to capture the game on my laptop and stream from my laptop. So I have a PC and my laptop, which is actually how some people stream as well. Very intense video games and stuff like that, is that they'll have a gaming PC and a streaming PC. And so one PC is gaming and running the game, and then the second PC is capturing that game image and streaming it out. That's a lot of technology though. And that's like, that ain't happening on this budget. My laptop works for doing what it needs to do, and that's the main thing. Oh, excuse me. Well, my coffee ain't working. Yeah. It is a very heavy game, and then like I would love to play with mods. I have played with mods in the past, but my gosh, it also really slows your game down. It is a beast of a game for PCs to run. It's not a light game by any means, but it is a fun game. I only buy packs for it though when they're on sale, because I can't justify the full price, but also I don't like how they release the games the way they do, but I also really enjoy the game. The Sims has quite a special place in my heart, because when I first started flaring quite significantly and I couldn't hold a pencil, The Sims was how I stayed creative, because you could build houses and tell stories, and like it gave me a way to have a creative outlet without necessarily holding a pencil. So it's very important in that sense, and I do really enjoy that element of it, of creating characters and telling stories and doing different challenges. Like I love a rags to riches. Love a good challenge in The Sims, so yeah. But yeah, I decided, because I've been playing it a lot lately, that I was watching Cassie stream and saw the Realm of Magic pack. I was like, ooh, I want to play with Realm of Magic. So I got that one, and then I decided to get Horse Ranch because I have cottage living, and then I was like, I can have all the animals. Oh, yeah. The glitchiness of some of those packs. It's also, like, right now, the game is also extra glitchy, because, of course, they've just had an update with the new pack, and so there's a bunch of new glitches. My game keeps crashing on me a lot since it, so hopefully we get another update soon to all the bug repairs. I'll have to. But, yeah, there are some gorgeous bits and pieces out there. I would love to stream The Sims and play with y'all and put y'all in my world and build things together, but again, it's not going to happen because of how chunky it is. But it's definitely one of my comfort games. And so right now I'm playing through a character who, it was kind of like a runaway teen situation. So they start off as a teenager with nothing on an empty lot and have to survive while going to school and being in an after school job and being cheer captain. So they're basically an overachiever. And then they went to university as a teen, and now they're like making their way for a bunch of careers, because they decided, well, they're going to be an overachiever and just kind of do everything. And then the other thing is, with university, which is one of the glitch packs, these you can build, there's a robotics skill, and so you can build robotics, and you can build these servos and they're like bots that you can program and upgrade, and they take a while, but you can upgrade them to do like gardening and cleaning and housework and all this sort of stuff. And I've never played with it, so I'm playing through that at the moment. It's quite fun because I didn't even realize it was a thing, and I just never experienced it in the pack. So I was like, I'm going to play through that. I always love The Sims. I started first The Sims and then SimCity. Yeah, I am contemplating buying, because you can buy legacy packs of Sims 1 and Sims 2. Now I dabbled a little bit in Sims 1, but we didn't actually own it. I think I played it at someone else's place, but I own The Sims 2 because I went to a second-hand shop and somebody had donated The Sims 2 plus a bunch of expansions, and they just were selling them for like $2 a disc, like $2 for each one. I think I spent like $12 or $14, and I got the base game plus 7 expansions, and I was like, oh, you have no idea here. And so I took them home and I played that for ages back in the day of CD-ROMs. Yeah, just so I am thinking of getting the legacy pack, because that sounds amazing to me. Like the legacy packs are the base game plus every single expansion. So they do that for Sims 1 and Sims 2 now. And I'm like, Sims 2? Sims 2 with all the expansions? Like, yeah. Because I did think about also getting Sims free, because I was like, maybe I could stream Sims free because it would be a little less tanky, but it's still pretty good graphics. But then it's like, I don't want to sink all my money into Sims free. But I was like, one purchase, Sims 2, get everything. And it's Sims 2. It's quite nostalgic as well. So, yeah, but it's not in the budget this week because I chose to get the Horse Ranch and Realm of Magic packs. Yeah. I was thinking of getting Cottage Living this sale, but I guess I have to wait till the next sale. Oh, yeah, because the sale will have ended now. I fully recommend Cottage Living. It is one pack that I kind of say is like still wait for a sale and still get it 50% off, but it's the one pack that I'm like, this is definitely a good pack. Like the amount of stuff you get in Cottage Living, the amount of build items that are super cute, the world is gorgeous, and the additional gameplay, like Cottage Living is a top tier pack. Fully recommend it. I definitely am going to get the new Enchanted by Nature Fairies pack that they've just released, but I'll be waiting for that to go on special, because again, I don't buy them unless they're 50% off, because they always put their packs on sale for 50% off. So like right now, businesses and hobbies on the sale was only like 38% off, so I wasn't going to get that one. That was a steal. It was such a good deal, and that was just like, oh, I loved it. I had so much fun. So The Sims 2 is a very special place in my heart. And then I got the Herbs and Sims Moving Out on PlayStation. Oh, here's the rain. And the wind. Oh boy. Sims 3 can still hard run even on a good PC. Okay, that's good to know. Good to know. I haven't looked into the system requirements of it, but it's not a legacy pack for Sims 3. It's still like base game plus a lot of expansions. So it's like, I don't want to sink all that money into another games with billions of DLCs. So you know, as I said, Sims 2 is like the nostalgia for me. So alright, Leon is starting to get there. We're starting to get our base in place. And the great thing about making him a black cat is normally I don't like having like the black lines. So if I was doing like a white cat, you wouldn't want these black lines and I'd have to go over it. But because it's a black cat, the black lines actually work really well here. So that makes me happy. Yeah, I'm really enjoying The Sims at the moment. So I think I'm going to finish up with my character that is currently doing the robot builds, and then once that's all done, I'll build a new character, and they're going to be a spellcaster. And then I'm going to explore the spellcasting. Becky, hello, lovely. How are we going? Oh, I forgot to colour in the cat's nose. I just realised that. Because Shadow does also have a black nose. Of course, we'll still go over this all with black, but this is our base layer. How are you going, hun? It's good to see you. We are working on... Oh, I never updated the project command or the information under stream. I just realized that. Journey by Kanoko Egusa. And using Polychromos pencils. Up, copy, and I think I have a Kanoko Egusa playlist. I do. I might need to separate those into books. Save. Cloudbot commands. Project. Edit. B. Done. Right, now we're actually up to date. Sorry about that. I just realised I'd never updated a project command, because now it's actually up to date. So now if you summon with exclamation project, it will actually tell you what we're working on. To be honest, it's actually like Sims 4. I wish the work in Sims Phone. Yeah. So, Project Renee, which was meant to be Sims 5, they talked about it, they were working towards it, and then I think things have changed. But yeah, it is, unfortunately, because of the way the game is coded, it takes a full recode to fix everything. Like, they could fix everything, they could integrate things to run so much more smoother, but the amount of coding work that it would take, they can't. Well, they can, but they aren't going to. I know that they don't get a lot of funds now for base game upgrades because the base game is free. But yeah, I wish they would fix it and recode it so it would just run smoother. Like the amount of bug patches and workarounds and stuff that they have to do just to get this game to work, because the base game core coding needs so much more fixing. Like, it's an inherently flawed game, but it's also a wonderful game, and that's the problem. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunately now just, yeah, as you say, every new pack breaks the game even further. Every new pack slows the game down, and it does make it very difficult to enjoy. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day as well, like, I'm not a fan of the continual DLC again. I only buy when it's on sale, and if I decide I really want a pack. I never pay full price for them. And some of them I'm just like, And I only do it because I do still genuinely enjoy playing the game. But it's also the type of game where you don't have to, because, like, the base game is free. And there are so many mods for The Sims, and the mods that work better than the actual gameplay packs. There are some amazing mods for The Sims out there. So you can, in theory, get The Sims and just download mods. There's been a modded fairy pack for years, and it's a really good pack. Before there was High School Years, which is an incredibly glitched and broken pack, there's a very excellent high school pack that I have actually played through that is a mod. So, and you know, the mods are free. The mods are free, so... Pauline Art Stuff, kia ora, welcome in. How are we going? Alright, we'll put a little bit of the warm highlights on the toes. Still awake? Such an insomniac? Oh no, is it late over there? It's only 10 a.m. here, so, you know. It's not that you're an insomniac, you're just on New Zealand time, or you're just on a different time zone. Exactly, artsy endo. Exactly. It's only after midnight. That's not too bad. I mean, it's not ideal, but it could be worse. I really feel we are starting to get shadows, like little sun-bleached highlights. And like the warmth undertone. We'll still go back over this because it is meant to be black, but I'm very happy with how this base layer is going. Like I can see it coming together, so I hope you can kind of see the vision and where we're going with this. Why didn't I do the other paw while I did that first paw? That would have been really logical. I don't know. I should go through and also translate all of this. Symphony of Cute Animals is the same size. That is the normal size square book that I was mentioning before. I suppose let's use once and quite fast. There's no depth. Yeah, gameplay is surface level. Yeah, I think that's my issue. There's no justified price there. So, yeah, Seasons is a good one. I think it depends on how you play as to what packs are worth it and what packs aren't. So for me, I'm not a big fan of the building. Like, I build, but a lot of the time I'll also take people's gallery builds and just plonk those down. For me, it's about the characters I create and the stories and what they want to do. So there's certain packs I used a lot because of how I usually play characters. So like Cottage Living, I have played a lot of the Cottage Living pack. I love using Hengford on Badley and the items in it and raising a farm. I like my Sims to kind of live off the land and just basically run away and become little farmers in the country, away from people. I always make them so they don't need to socialize. The loners. So like a pack like I think it's Get Together, which is not a very high rated pack anyway, but that's the one where it's like about having social clubs and going out clubbing and stuff like that. I think I have it because it came in a combo deal, but I never use it. Yeah. And so that's it. It's also knowing how you play the game and what you like to do in the game to make it worthwhile. But it's so valid, and I don't think, like, I love the game. I still won't pay full price. These packs I won't buy because I'm just like, yeah, I don't think I'll ever use you, so what's the point? Yeah, not a fan with how they make and model it. But the game is such a staple for me because there's a couple of cozy games that I always deviate to. And for me, it's the storytelling and the worlds that I create within it. And the characters I create. So, yeah. It works for me, but I also fully understand where you're coming from and totally agree, Artsy Endo. And it's like, my cousin was talking about buying different packs, and I was like, again, it depends on how you play the game, but I can tell you right now, you know, I think one of the packs that they were looking at was High School Years, and I was like, no, that pack is glitchy, and once you've done high school, you've done high school. Same with uni. Once you've done uni, you've done uni. You don't need those packs. BD, hello. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to work being done tonight. It'll be the weekend. Part of me is tempted to order a pizza tonight and just have pizza and game like a teenager. Yeah, exactly, Artsy, and that's kind of why I'm also looking at the Sims 2 Legacy Pack, because then it's like one and done. It's like done, and it's also that memories of Sims 2. Like, Sims 2 is such a strong memory for me. You want pizza? Pizza is delicious. I think it's also that I want Coke Zero. I've really been missing Coke a lot lately. I have, like, no bubblies. I mean, I have a capability of making bubbly water, but it's not quite the same. I have, like, no soda. And I am someone who does really enjoy, like, a Coke, but I like Coke Zero. Or Diet Coke, or sugar-free, basically. But there is a difference between Coke regular and Coke Zero, like, and Coke Zero and Diet Coke, obviously, but even between the two, I taste the difference, because Coke Zero is not as sweet as regular Coke. And so I'm specifically missing that, and I have none. It's like, oh, I really want a Coke. So I think that's more why I want pizza, because if I order pizza, I can also get a Coke delivered. It's like, I'm not ordering pizza just to get a cola. I'm really that desperate, I should just walk up to the supermarket and get some. But again, also, it's meant to be torrential rain today. But then also, do I really want to be that person that orders a delivery when it's torrential rain warnings? The poor delivery person, like, that just seems cruel. So I haven't decided if I will get the Sims 1 and Sims 2. Have to think about it. Yeah. Oh, again, the legacy packs are a fantastic way to go because you get all the expansions. So, yeah. Have to turn the sprinklers off. All good. Did I say hi to you, BD? I think I said hi to you. I'm sorry if I didn't say hi to you. Hi, BD. Brain is braining. Pizza and poppers and cola? Yes. I could, but it is quite pricey for a grocery delivery and it probably won't come for a couple of days. Because there's usually not same day delivery for grocery stuff. I know. It's not a bad idea actually, because then I don't have to order a pizza. Need a new toothpick. Need a new phone that actually has a power button. What do I want? I want you. Right, if we were to pretend to order that, I want delivery. Do you even have delivery in my region? Because some of them don't even deliver in my region. Because, yay, that one can deliver. Okay. As long as it's 12 items or less, I could actually get something delivered at 1:30. Okay. So, in theory, I could. I'll be spending $20 delivery fee. So, that would be the downside, is it's $20 delivery. But, in theory, I could get something delivered today. But I could also just go out to Mum and say, hey, is there anything urgent you need from the supermarket? Because I might pay for a delivery. Yeah, I did know that the food delivery app do deliver from a couple of, like, what we call dairies. I think you call corner shops. But they're very, very, very overpriced. Used to be a Dark Coke person, but Pepsi Max is so much better. I don't mind Pepsi Max either, honestly. Like, as long as it's bubbly and sugar free, I'm pretty good. I love sugar, like, I love sparkly water. I like my bubbly drinks, basically. And I have got a soda stream, so I can make fizzy water, but it's not quite the same, and that's because the bubbliness that I get in the water isn't as potent as the bubbliness you get from a bottle, which isn't as bubbly as what you get from a can. And that's what I'm missing, is a crisp can. I want specifically that very sharp carbonation, which is hard to explain. It's a textural thing almost. Yeah, no soda, only water over here. Good on you. Good on you. Nothing wrong with just drinking water. I do drink a lot of water. I just also really enjoy my bubbles. But yes, I drink 2 to 3 of these a day, so. Yeah, it is. Ouch, BD. It is just. Yeah. It's spicy water or crispy. I do like crispy water. Yeah, I know. I can hear if actually Mum's friend is out here too, so I could technically just say to her, hey, can you run me up to the supermarket real quick and see if she'll be kind enough to do that, so I can run in and grab a couple of items, which isn't a bad idea. I have to have a real Coke when I get a cheeseburger and fries, otherwise I don't drink soda. Yeah. That's super valid. I think, like my mum if she drinks a soda, she has like normal Coke. She doesn't drink any of the sugar-free ones and stuff like that. And it just doesn't, I don't know, I'm so used to the artificial sweetness, but that's just my taste buds, you know? At the end of the day, we don't judge food here. Fed is best. That is our motto. So if you enjoy something, you enjoy something. We just are happy that you're eating and giving yourself nutrition so that you can stay alive. That is the validness of it. Zero Coke just doesn't taste rice to me. It's fair enough. Meat feast pizza though. I'm guessing that's what we would call a meat lovers here. What is people's pizza order? Getting into the real debate here, because I know some people are very, very like, this is the perfect pizza order. But yeah, what are your pizza orders? Get a root beer. I still haven't picked up a root beer. It's on my to-do list. I have not been to the supermarket that will probably sell individual cans of it. But yeah, it's on my to-do list to find and pick up a root beer. Alright, so we've got, is that 181 or 131? The numbers are so worn off. I'm going to go with 181. 181 and 199, because that is our pain grey and our black. And now this is what we're going to go over our base layer with and do lots of little strokes, which will turn our brown base to look more black while still keeping that warm brown undertone. Cheese, but I put a ton of red pepper flakes on it. Yum. Yeah, I'm with you. A good cheese pizza. Top tier. Sausage, pepperoni, mushroom, green olives. Also a very tasty one. Never tried root beer. I've also never tried root beer. It's just something I want to try. I like them simple with some tuna or chicken, tomato sauce and cheese. I've never had tuna and chicken, tuna on pizza, but then again, I have, like, we do have seafood pizzas. So I can see it. I just don't get them because I'm not a seafood person. I know this company in particular, speaking of distractions. So this is a pizza company here, if it wants to pick up. Oh, wrong one. There we go. It is indeed called Hell's Pizza. And the theme is literally hell, which is great. It's got amazing marketing, as you can imagine. So all the original pizzas are named after like 7 deadly sins. Oh, you can't see this one on the side. Let me just... So, lust, greed, wrath, envy, like they're all named after the sins. But then they have different ones. You can go to Mordor. That's the meat lovers, basically. I did show you this. Excellent. But I'm sure they do... Yeah, they do the satay one. I'm sure they do a fish one. They might have changed it as well. Yeah, they do the smoked salmon. I thought they did a shrimp one too. Again, I don't order the seafood ones. Wasn't brought up on a lot of seafood, despite living on an island, so yeah. Not to be controversial, but ham, pineapple, and shrimp. No, that's fine by me. I actually do love ham and pineapple pizza, or Hawaiian pizza as we call it here. And the reason why I love it is because to make it, they use the pineapple that has been canned and then they recook it. And because it's been canned and recooked, it's been cooked enough that the enzyme that I am allergic to has been cooked out. So it's one of the ways that I can actually eat pineapple. So I really like a Hawaiian pizza because it's a way I can eat pineapple. So yeah. That sounds really neat. I like the idea of the tuna pizza. I know tuna mounts are a thing. I have never had tuna and cheese, but I'm also fussy with my tuna. But I can see the idea behind it, and I can see it working well because I know tuna mounts are a popular thing. So barbecue sauce with hamburger and pepperoni, or a Philly cheesesteak, no mushrooms, or the Wisconsin 6 has 6 different cheeses on it. Still barbecue sauce, yum. Also good, Lizbeth. That sounds also delicious. In Portugal, in some places, we have cod and chorizo pizza. Ooh, yeah, see, I can see that too. That makes way more sense in my brain now. Yeah, so if you think of a tuna mount, it makes a lot more sense for a tuna pizza. Like, I can see it logically. I don't think you can go wrong with a pizza order, to be honest. Like, back in the day, the Try Guys did a episode where they had a pizza, like they had to make a pizza. It's the kitchen battle series. I'm having a mind blank of without a recipe. Those are the words. And so they did without a recipe, and they did a pizza episode, and Eugene did like the world's worst pizza where he took all the hated ingredients to make a pizza, and it actually looked okay. Like, it actually, like, some of the ingredients together looked actually okay. No worries, Lisbeth. No worries. I mean, seafood on pizza in Portugal. Yeah. Yeah, that also makes sense. I mean, it's also why we probably have seafood pizzas here. Like, I know there are various seafood pizzas, because again, I do technically live on an island. Seafood is a thing here. I just don't eat a lot of it. But both my parents don't like seafood. So they'll eat a little bit of, like, fish from the fish and chip shop. But, yeah. They're not big seafood people, so I wasn't brought up on a lot of seafood. Because they don't like it. You're good, Elizabeth. The land of dirt and cactus. So does that mean you have some sort of weird cactus recipes? Because you can technically cook with cactus, right? Is that how it works then? You have a cactus pizza? I'm sure I've seen something online about cactus recipes. Yeah, I know, there's definitely, like, sorry, my nose is itchy. Power pizzas that I've seen before. Power is like abalone, I think is the name that the rest of the world uses for it. And like whitebait when it's whitebait season. I haven't tried either of those things. Okay, so this time, rather than trying to work in the smooth concentric circles, we are going to start working a little bit more liney, working in small lines, keeping our pencil nice and sharp, but still following those fur lines that are drawn in the direction of the fur to give the illusion of cat fur. You can eat cactus, but I don't like it. Prickly pear cactus also makes fruit, but it's meh. Yeah, that must be what I've heard of. I had a classic Kiwi breakfast for breakfast. Marmite and cheese on toast. Which is actually another pizza that you can sometimes get. I do it sort of as a specialty thing. They sell jackfruit cactus here at the store. I do like jackfruit. I like jackfruit when it's covered in barbecue sauce. Because then it's like having pulled pork. That's yum. It's not quite the same. It's not quite as savoury, but... Ooh. It's interesting knowing, like, finding out the local fruits and stuff like that as well. We have a local fruit that is kind of described as being a guava melon, or a guava pineapple, and it's feijoa. I love feijoa season. They grow, like, the trees are like, you know, everyone knows somebody that's got a tree in their backyard. So it becomes feijoa season. The season only lasts for like a couple of weeks because they ripe so quickly and then they rot so quickly, which is why we can't export them, because they just don't travel well. But they're delicious when they're in season. And so there's like this rush of people bagging them, and you can buy, like, kids will bag them up and sell like massive bags for a couple of bucks for some pocket money, and great. We go nuts buying them for a few weeks because they get dirt cheap as everybody's trees go crazy, and then the trees stop and then the season's over. But it's one of those things that you can't really explain and we can't really export, so... because they just don't last long enough. I've always wanted to visit Portugal. My cousin went to Portugal and it sounds gorgeous, especially some of the architecture and the food. I've always said that if I won enough on the lottery, I would love to do a trip around the world, but not like a typical touristy trip, but a trip where I go and stay with, like, nonnas and, you know, learning people that cook and learning the true family style cooking. Like going and staying with those people that cook up the big family meals and learning, you know, like how traditional pasta is made directly from a nonna. Just doing like a cooking tour. Family style cooking tour. But also beautiful, yeah. There's a lot of rich history there. I mean, I live in a very young country. Well, in some parts of the culture. In the colonialized English culture, very young. In the Māori culture, they've been here a while. A lot of rich history there. But, you know, a lot of our architecture isn't that old and things like that. So it would be quite fascinating to travel overseas and look at like some interesting old architecture. Yeah, New Zealand is a beautiful country to travel around for sure. And if any of you win the lottery and are over here, or, you know, your travels come over this way, let me know, because if it works out, I'll meet up with you at a cafe somewhere. But where I live is not typically where people come, unless they're coming to I don't live on the main tourism trail. So, yeah. But it's definitely a, like, I live in a beautiful country, and it is a beautiful country to go exploring. It's a wonderful place to live in, and I feel very lucky to live here. But it's still fascinating going and seeing the world, you know. I live on an island in the bottom of the world, so it would be lovely to travel around and see other places too. But it is a very lovely country to live in, and it is, I do like, when I travel to a different city, I will often travel by bus, and a few people are like, oh, how can you take the bus? And it's like, why wouldn't I take the bus? Like, I get to see all the countryside rolling by, I get to sit back and relax as someone else does the driving. Like, I love taking the bus to travel. I can literally just stare out the window for 8 hours and just watch the countryside change into watch the sea, and, you know, watch the mountains, and then if I do get bored watching all that, I usually have colouring on my Switch, so we're fine. So yeah, I think you can see now the difference now that we've gone over with our layer of black. And so now we have a black cat with a little bit of a golden brown undertone, which is exactly what Shadow is. Black cat, golden brown undertone. So that's how we're going to be approaching Leon in this book. But yeah, you can see the difference just with the layer of black and Payne's Grey. Oh, nice big stretch. Oh, right. Madeira is different in the sense that it wasn't inhabited before it was discovered by Portugal, so there's no prior history there. Ooh. It would be interesting. I want to visit Australia, New Zealand, Finland at Christmas time. Ooh, and Switzerland if I ever win the lotto. I would love to experience a true white Christmas, because of course Christmas here is summertime, so I would love to visit somewhere with like deep snow and like experience that true Hallmark Christmas card Christmas. So yeah, I want to do a white Christmas somewhere. I want to desperately go to Asia. I want to do a lot around Japan because very fascinated with Japan, and I was learning Japanese for a while. I haven't been back on the app for a while, so need to go back to Duolingo, but I'd love to do Japan. I'd love to do Korea, China, Indonesia, India. Like, I'd love to just basically do a massive Asia tour and just go everywhere in Asia. And then I've always wanted to do, my mum has always wanted to do in particular the river cruises over in England, UK, and Europe. Those river cruises where you are on a boat and you just travel and you go and see different areas of Europe. So I'd love to be able to take her for that. His name is not Leon, it's Shadow's Journey. Yeah. And then I would love to do a little bit of America and Canada, but that would be more going and seeing people. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be fun to go to America, experience the food, and see all these things I've seen online and go and experience them. So there's a few things in America that'll be like, oh, that'd be cool to do. But it would mostly be going to America to go and meet some people and be like, you know, like PB and Smalt that I've been friends with for 10, 11, 12 years. Like, I would love to go and meet them in person. And stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, big Asia tour, big Europe tour are the two big ones that I'd love to do. I think South America would be really fun to do as well, like but I don't know a lot about the culture, so yeah. I went to Switzerland for a month 2 years ago, but it was summer. Finland is beautiful. Oh, lovely. My thing, of course, would be mobility. And that would be my big thing, is that whatever, like, that's the hardest thing when it comes to travel is, you know, I have limited mobility. So with I'd still do travel because the buses, I've worked out, the buses will pack my walking frame into luggage and I have crutches from the bus. And then when I get off the bus, I go back onto my walking frame. I still have to be very careful. It's still a lot, but I do manage. And so I can travel via bus around New Zealand, which is great. And I usually just have a word to the bus driver and I'm like, hey, anytime that we're stopping somewhere where you have to load on like a bunch of passengers and luggage, or, you know, we're going to be stopping for like 5 or 10 minutes because of the unloads and the loads, could you just let me know so I can just get up and do a stretch, because then my back's not going to lock up, which means I'm less likely to fall down the stairs getting off the bus, which is going to be great for all of us. And the bus drivers are always great about it. They're like, absolutely. And so, yeah, just when we stop, he's like, hey, I've got like 4 passengers to load on here. I'm like, great. And I'll go down the stairs, do a little hop around, and then we jump back on the bus. So, yeah. It's really good. They've been really wonderful every time I've gone on the bus. And if there's like a really big stopover where we're stopping somewhere for like, you know, a cup of tea or something, or the lunch break or something, they'll get my walking frame out so I can mobilize on my walking frame. I wish teleportation was a thing. Me too. And then you could all teleport to New Zealand. We could have a big Kiwi hangout. Okay, we are making some progress and I like how Shadow is progressing, but we are going to take a little mini break here because I just realized I need to go to the bathroom. I finished my coffee, so I'm going to take this cup out. Maybe make a proper coffee, but either way, I need to pop to the bathroom. So, and we're coming up on 2 hours, so it's a good time to take a little break, and then we will come back and finish off Shadow. Doesn't seem like we've done a lot, but pencils are slow. When I don't have a base, it takes a while to do all the shading, because you have to build up a lot more pencil layers, so yeah, it's a little slow, but we are getting there. I also need to go and see if I can find Shadow in his paws and see what colour his paws are. I also realised I didn't do his white patch. I'll go see if he's probably asleep on the couch. I'll go and see and maybe take some photos and see if I can figure out this part. But yeah, make sure you look after yourself. This is a good opportunity if you need to hydrate, stretch, take your meds, anything like that. And I'll see you all in a few minutes. Okay, we're almost back. Ooh, because holy moly, y'all. Okay. We need to move that over there. Move that there. I think we're gonna need to put it under here. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. Okay. And then we go boom. That one. That one. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for bearing with me. I made a fresh cup of coffee. Black this time. So much better. Oh. My mouth was full of sweetness. And then I have all this delicious sweetness because Mum's friend is out there and she brought some treats for us, and I was like, oh well, I'm gonna have to take them and show them on stream because speaking of Kiwi foods, we have some Kiwi foods here. So this is food from a bakery. Bakeries are very, very common places here where we will go and get snacks and treats. Most commonly pies, meat pies. Meat pies are some of the best from bakeries. Perfection! Hello, hello. Welcome in. Joining us at a great time. Yeah, paper bags, because paper is recyclable and compostable. And we don't have plastic here. So this here, Perfection may recognise this. Because I know you can get these in Australia too. And I don't know if these are... probably UK, but I don't know if these are American or anywhere else. This is a Lamington. This is a delicious cake. And then that's looking a little squishy. And so we got a raspberry one. They also come in chocolate. But what it is a, yeah, plastic cream. You've heard of Lamingtons? So what a Lamington is, it is a beautiful light sponge cake. Just a beautiful light sponge cake with a thin layer of icing around it. So it's just like a square of cake with a bit of icing. And the icing can be chocolate or strawberry. There's like some fancy bougie places that do like fancier ice creams, like of icing flavors. Like I've seen a matcha one before. Most bakeries will just do your classic chocolate and your classic raspberry. And then they cover it with coconut. And that is a Lamington. Then sometimes you get places that cut it open and fill it with fresh cream. And that little dot of raspberry jam. So it's an absolute classic Kiwi treat. I say Kiwi, it's also... I know you can get them in Australia. I don't know if they're in the UK. It's got to be like, I would say that there's probably some sort of English link. But I don't know if they're Australian and New Zealand just adopted them too. Or, because sometimes New Zealand and Australia have similar treats because they've come from the UK or they're a variant of the UK. Sometimes they're our own creation, like pavlova, which is an argument if it's New Zealand or Kiwi. Honestly, New Zealand or Australian, just call it Australasian. Makes it easier. Pavlova's top tier too. But then, not only did she get a whole entire Lamington, which is what we're going to eat, because I started on that, and also Lamington's are top here. But then the other treat, which I'm going to try and do without ripping open the bag, is we got a donut. And this might be a bit of a different donut than a lot of you are kind of used to. Might be more like a turnover or something. Might be more... the word, I don't know. Basically, it is like your typical round fried donut that they then poke a hole in and fill, but instead of being that, it's done like a little pouch and they cut it open, and this one is filled with stewed apple and fresh cream, and of course that raspberry dot. The raspberry dot jam is like on all our donuts here, and that one's covered in cinnamon sugar. It's like a donut taco, yeah. So it's like donut dough fried and covered in cinnamon sugar, and this one happens to be filled with stewed apples and cream. It's a jam and cream donut. It just happens to have apple and cinnamon and Oh, it's delicious. But that one's going to be later on because one Lamington's going to be enough. Oh man, I'm missing out. Yeah. This is just like one of many, many treats when you go to the bakeries here. Like, I freaking love bakeries here. There's a little bakery down the road. And it's so tasty. And again, you can get a lot of savoury stuff there too. I was like, why aren't you typing? I want to see if I can find a photo of like... Oh look, here we go. This is actually the bakery down the road. I think we've shown this before too. Yeah. So you get like sandwiches, really classic things here. So lots of solid sandwiches. This is what I think of with New Zealand donuts. Yeah. Lolly cake, another classic Kiwi treat. It's basically like crushed biscuits in a log with like these little marshmallow things in them. But they're not quite marshmallow. It's hard to explain. They're like a fruit puff in a malted biscuit row. It's good. But yeah, this is what we think of with donuts, where you got your classic dough, which is fried. These ones are covered in powdered sugar and then cut open and filled with cream, and you can see the little raspberry dot again too. So when you say a donut in New Zealand, this is usually what you get for a donut, not those American round filled jelly donuts or the ring donuts that most people think of when they say donuts. Here we think of the long buns filled with cream. So yeah, jam and cream donuts are more a thing here. Going to the bakery in the morning is the best time. It really is. Oh my god. There was one day that I took mum down to a market or something, because most bakeries are open from like 6 a.m, 7 a.m. They open real early because they'll also sell like loaves of fresh bread, but a lot of people stop in there to get their lunch for the day because they'll have like fresh made sandwiches and slices and various bits and pieces. So a lot of people stop in there to get their lunch. So a lot of bakeries, not all of them, but a lot of bakeries will open real early so they can get the early morning people. So I had to drop mum off at a market. I was going past a bakery and it just turned 7 a.m. And I went in and I'm like, hey, I know it's 7 a.m, but you guys doing fries right now? Because all I wanted was French fries. I wanted fries for like donkey's years. And they were open. I was like, you know what? I'm going to see. And they're like, yeah, we can cook you up a batch of fries right now. I was like, awesome. They're great. I love bakeries. So yeah, it's just a very soft, light, airy sponge cake. Thin layer of icing. Fresh cream. Coconut. It is very coconut heavy. If you're not a fan of coconut, you won't be a fan of Lamingtons. I like Lamingtons. We don't have cream-filled donuts unless it's a Boston cream donut, which is filled with vanilla custard. Yeah. Yeah, so ours aren't custard. Ours are literally fresh cream. It is like heavy whipping cream that has been whipped up. It is fresh cream that is in them. Maybe a little bit of icing sugar or powdered sugar. I always forget it's called powdered sugar over there, not icing sugar. We call it icing sugar, but powdered sugar. Maybe a little bit of that and vanilla in the cream, which is technically chantilly cream. But yeah, it's fresh cream. There's nothing like fresh cream. You are so right, Perfection. It has to be the fresh cream. Like fresh cream. I've seen them called Devonshire buns. Oh, okay. I've never heard of it called that. I might Google that. Yeah, Devonshire bun. These little buns, split and filled with jam and cream, make great alternatives to scones for afternoon tea. There we go. Devonshire split. Okay, so that's kind of what our donuts are. good to know. That's really handy knowledge. Thank you so much. It mentions the Great British Bake Off. I need to watch the Great British Bake Off. I feel like it would be right up my vibe. Oh, cake. Lamington's done last. Yeah. Lamingtons are really good. These are running gag with me and Mum, which is why it's so, like, even more special, because by the time that we get to the bakery, because, like, sometimes we'll do it for lunch or something, and the bakery is just down the road from us. Very, very popular. Like, hugely popular. So by the time we get down there, the lamingtons are near gone. And it's tradition. We walk in there and there's literally usually one lamington left. And so Mum always gets the lamington. And, like, so it's just like this running gag of, like, I'm okay with it because I'll get the apple cinnamon cream donut because I love that as well. And often there's no lamingtons at all, so Mum will get the apple donut instead as well. So, because she also likes them, but lamingtons are the top tier, and she also gets the lamington. And so my aunt, when she was here, she went down to the bakery to also get us lamingtons and donuts. She's going to get us all lamingtons. She got us lamingtons, sorry. She got us all lamingtons. But she got 2 chocolate and there was only 1 raspberry. So she's like, oh, you can have first choice because you're the patient. I was like, oh, well, there are some perks here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the raspberry one because I never get the raspberry lamington because every time Mum and I go, the raspberry lamington is all sold out because Mum is the one that always gets it. So it's like, nah, I'm taking the raspberry lamington today. The chocolate ones are good too, but there's something about the raspberry ones. I like the pink lamingtons. But yeah, they are very, very lovely. And because the cake is so light as well, it's not a, like, heavy dessert / treat. And, you know, it's just like a light sponge cake, fresh cream, and a little raspberry icing. So it's sweet, but it's not, it could be, like, cloyingly sweet, but it's not. The fresh cream makes it really, really quite light. And this bakery doesn't add sweetness to their cream, so it really isn't over sweet. It's a really good bakery and really good lamingtons. Also, bakeries are relatively cheap too, so also really great to get some treats. But yes, we will carry on with this, working on our Shadow. Now, I did find Shadow. Shadow is actually outside. Was going to let him in, but he's actually chilling outside at the moment and enjoying the rain and drinking rainwater. Other problem is that we have fresh cream, and if y'all have seen how crazy Shadow gets when I eat cheese bread, y'all have seen nothing when I have cream. Because that cat is a dairy cat, and so if I let him in the house, he is going to attack Mum, he's going to attack Mum's friend, and he's going to attack me to eat our paper bags, basically, because there's a trace residue of cream on them. So right now, for his own safety, we cannot bring him in because he's going to go nuts because there is cream, which means I didn't get to look at his paws because he's outside chilling outside. He's on a covered deck right now. He's all good. Like, he's out of the weather. It's not like hugely rainy or downpoury, it's just a bit muggy, but he's enjoying the fresh rainwater because we've got multiple bowls that fill with water, and that's his favorite water. So he's outside drinking and just chilling in the covered deck. So I did see his neck, and we do need a little area in here where we're going to add in a little bit of white. It's not much white. And then we need to make sure we've got our grey on hand, because even though it's a white, we're gonna have to, it'll be in shadow, so it'll be a little bit more grey. And I'll pull out like a white paint pen and do a couple of white highlights in there, just so it's like clear, it's not just like a grey area. It'll be a little bit more contrasty when we get a bit more of the black around it as well. It's basically like a small little white triangle, and then he's got a bit more on his belly, but we won't worry too much about that one because it's just like a small weird little patch that's hard to put in place. It's only visible when he puts his legs in certain angles. It's his little triangle under his chin that's really obvious. The way you say dick will never. Yeah, yep. I'm aware of the running gag. I am saying a deck as in an outdoor wooden patio that you would often use for barbecues and outdoor entertainment. But yes, there is a running gag of a New Zealand ad for wood stain. It's all talking about the size of people's deck. It's a known thing. Because it's a deck. It is not a eggplant. And that is why auto captions and subtitles are going to have a great time, and YouTube is probably going to put a bunch of little star beside me for that word, because it's probably thinking we're saying something else. That ad, you know the ad I'm talking about. Yeah, I didn't know it was a thing until an Australian sent me the ad. Was like, yeah, this is why I giggle every time you say dick. I was like, okay. I'd never heard the joke the first time it was explained to me. This was like 10 years ago. My protein coffee was okay. But I just love my black coffee. It's so much better. Protein coffee, I made an iced coffee, but rather than putting milk in it, I put protein powder. So it was I think they call them proffies. They're like protein coffees. So it was just coffee and protein powder. And so it was like a vanilla protein powder. So it made like a vanilla iced coffee. But because it was protein powder, it was a little bit more filling than just a regular coffee. But it was also very sweet because it was a sweetened coffee essentially, and because I'm used to my coffee being black, it's quite different for me. But yeah, I know a lot of people that take a protein powder or a protein drink and pour it into their coffee to make an iced protein coffee. Here comes more rain. It's still very, very muggy and very sticky. I love the sound of rain. Yeah. It is one thing about moving into mum's that I'm really enjoying, because I lived in an apartment before. The sound of rain, like, if it was against the windows, you'd hear it a little bit, but you don't hear it on the roof. But here, it's on the roof. And, like, I have a roof. I don't have apartments above me. So I hear the rain heavy. Last week, when the heavy rains hit, it actually hailed. And that's how we were like, when it was hailing, we were like, oh, there's going to be a tornado. And there was a mini tornado, ripped a few roofs off in a small town nearby. Everyone was okay, just caused some damage. But the sound of the hail was so loud that, like, Mum and I couldn't talk, because it was just hitting the roof and just hitting so loud. And it's meant to be again like that tonight. It's meant to be heavy rain watches, thunderstorms. And it's quite like, it's really nice because of the fact that when I go to bed, I don't have curtains, because my window is basically like my window, a driveway that is the equivalent of about 6 floors under me. So it's really, really far down and no one can see directly in on that tiny little driveway. And beside the driveway is just a drop, and then it's just this valley and nobody can see it. So, you know, I don't have curtains. But it means that my view is just valley. All I see is valley. And there's this big river flowing through it, and there's a bunch of trees, and I can see the mountain, like gorgeous, gorgeous view. And it means at night I can look at the stars and the moon, and when there's thunderstorms, you can watch the thunderstorms in bed, and I love it so, so much. Like, and I'm sleeping so much better because I'm working with natural light. So it's dark, I go to bed, I wake up as the sun comes up, and I wake up with the sun, which is why I started moving streams earlier to 9 a.m. because in summer I was waking up at like 5 a.m, 6 a.m, because that's when the sun was up. Of course, now it's winter and we're waking up a bit later and we're just getting to stream on time. So I might, like, I'm making it, but I normally like a little bit more time in the morning. So we'll see how we go, but I might have to do like winter times and summer times, but I don't want to do that because we're also working with time zones. But yeah, I have noticed that, yeah, I'm waking up a bit nicer, waking up the sun. I love the sound of rain. Yeah, it's so good. I have a few saved playlists that are just rain sounds, and honestly, they so good. Nothing quite like the sound of rain. My mum's someone who very much falls asleep to the sound of rain too, so whenever it starts raining heavy, I know, and I will shut my doors and I don't go out into the lounge. She's often fallen asleep because of the sound of the rain. You got a cyclone here last week too. Our back deck roof came up. Yeah, there's a small town near here which is about 20 minutes out of my town, called Wata, and they got hit by a tornado, and so there were a few houses in particular that were hit by it, and so yeah, like a couple of them lost roofs. There was one house that had like a pergola that had been like bolted into the ground, and the bolts were still in the ground, like the parts of it were in the ground. The wind just ripped out it had like brackets on the ground that were screwed in, and then it just ripped the poles directly out of the bracket. So the screws were still in place, it just broke basically. Yeah, so can't believe I've spent nearly 2 hours just working. Well, no, I haven't, because we were chatting for half an hour or so, like an hour and a half. But it has worked. Like, we have got a black cat forming here, so I might need to sharpen both my pencils. I love Polychromos pencils. Don't get me wrong, I love all the varieties. I love having different ones for different effects, but at the end of the day, if I could only take one pencil set, excluding Inktense, if I was still allowed, like if I was only allowed to take one dry pencil set, not water or ink activated sets, you know what I mean? If I wasn't excluding Inktense, which I've always said would be if I could only ever take one set, I would take Inktense. But if I was allowed Inktense plus one regular set of pencils, I would take Polychromos pencils. I love my Prismas, I love the Pablos. I'm really enjoying the Harmonious set, and I need to do some more with the Colors, but they're really cool too. But at the end of the day, the Polychromos pencils are just where my heart is. I always come back to them. Ooh, okay. Just had a feeling I should check the back of this. I should have a scrap piece of paper down because it's picking up this black. Don't know if that's showing up a little bit. You can see that's this black that it's picking up. Alright, we should have a scrap piece of paper down. Oh, we'll use some baking paper. That'll do. We'll clean up what's there later on, but that'll stop it getting worse at least. So yes. Good thing to note if you are also working on this page, put a protection sheet behind you. But yeah, you can see our brown kitty is now turning into a black kitty. And again, I love all our little base effects. So we've really got that sort of warm, golden, sun-bleached tone that Shadow gets. He's a black kitty, but he's got a brown undertone. It's the Black Widows for you. That's fabulous. Yeah, I love having the variety, and different pencils have different effects, but like, I feel like a lot of us have that one set that's just comfort and ease, and we just know that we can get to and what we can do with it. And like the Prismas, I love working with the Prismas. I mean, I worked entirely with the Prismas on the last page. Sometimes it's just fun to work with just Prismas. And I love blending them together with the polys. But if I had to choose between them, I would choose polys over Prisma. But that is my personal choice and also my colouring style. I like layering the colours. I like the buildability of Polychromos, and I like the sharpness that I can get with their tips. So, but that's my personal preference, and if your personal preference is the smushiness, the vibrantness, and the blendability of the Prismas, that's also super valid. I've been feeling one colour books recently. I just haven't been feeling creative or lately, or because it's middle winter. That's valid. That's super valid, Perfection. Yeah. That's actually a smart idea, Yana. I was just thinking I should probably do that too, because it's actually getting a little difficult. We'll just borrow Nalco Nickel. I think I just went over the white spot. That's okay. We can bring it back out. Gonna have to use a little bit of white paint pen, I think, anyway. I do love how this is turning out. Oh, it's been so long since I've done a Kanoko page too, so it's just really nice to get back into a Kanoko page. I love her work so much. So I say that knowing I've also been obsessed with The Sims lately and been playing a lot of Sims, so I may carry on with this after stream, but just to do like some, like, I feel like I want to do a little bit of shading around and stuff like that, so that's kind of like boring shading, if that makes sense. It's not like colouring in the characters. I don't know. I will decide that later on. Or I could just move on and work on this page off stream and then carry on with this one on stream. The main thing is I need to get Leon's colours sorted, because Leon's colours dictate a lot of the book. Alright, I want to really leave a lot of that warmth in his ear. I have a habit of breaking the spine and wondering why my books start falling apart. Valid. I mean, you've seen my Mythomorphia. My god, it's been a while since we worked on Mythomorphia. Been a while in a few books, really. Ooh. Make sure we get right in there for the nose. Nose is probably going to need a couple of layers. So I'm using the Payne's Grey to also cool down some areas because we've got that warm brown undertone. By layering in the cool grey, where things would be in shadow, our brain actually reads it a little bit more three-dimensionally because cool recedes back while warm comes forward in our brain. So by taking the Payne's Grey and using it as a bit of a shader on top of areas that should be more recessed, it tricks our brain into reading them as being recessed. So while we're primarily just using black over the top of the browns, the Payne's Grey is operating in that sense. I was realizing why this doesn't look like shadow too much here, and that's because the eyes are too narrow. But then again, shadow does narrow his eyes sometimes when he's giving us the stink eye because he doesn't like his food, because he's being a grumpy kitty. But yeah, we've started this book as if it's shadow, but we have to keep in mind that shadow is an old boy. And so, while we're doing it, the likelihood of us finishing this book while Shadow is alive is very unlikely. So, that's okay. He is a grumpy old man. He is. He's a grumpy little sook. He's been definitely missing his uppies, and he's throwing more and more tantrums because he can't have uppies. It's like, I can't lift you. I'm not meant to lift you. I've been naughty and lifted you on the desk already once today, Shadow, and I'm not meant to do that. I'm not going to also risk it even further by putting you on my shoulder. He has been loving the fact that Mum's been running the heater, though. And so you all might remember a few weeks ago, probably like a month and a half ago, I got a new blanket hoodie that had little cupcakes on it. It was super cute, and I really liked it. I started wearing that blanket hoodie. Well, it was unfortunately not a very well-made blanket hoodie. And of course, Shadow likes uppies, and then he likes like clawing on my sweatshirt, or like sitting on here and like, I say clawing, he's making biscuits, but you know, in that way that cats claw at things. And so he did that, and he actually, in like, before I even put it on, I had put it on the couch, and he had like gotten onto it and started clawing it to try and make it his bed. So almost immediately Shadow wanted to claim this sweatshirt. And so I wore it and I washed it, and between its claws, it basically, like, it's already got little patches where it's lost its fluff, which is where he's clawed. And it's like, well, that's not a good sign of it. And so I could still keep wearing it around the house, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to try something. So I put it on the couch, and yeah, Shadow has immediately claimed it as his blanket. So he hasn't actually been as annoying at the moment, because he also has this bed that he keeps deviating towards. So he keeps going in front of the fire, and then when the fire's off, he'll jump up onto a couch and sleep on this blanket hoodie that he has absolutely claimed as his bed. So he has been a little better since I did that. So, and the blanket hoodie probably would have cost the same price as if we had just bought a cat bed. So, you know, but it keeps him entertained, it keeps him happy, and so he sleeps there all day practically. He loves his little blanket hoodie bed. I didn't even wash it. I just put it on the couch and he claimed it. But he hasn't even been sleeping with me because he's been sleeping on the blanket hoodie. So yeah, the last few nights, since before the op, because we started this before the op in the hope it would work, and it did. But yeah, he hasn't been sleeping with me because He'll sleep in a blanket hoodie. It's probably warmer, yeah. And that's our thing too. He probably finds it quite warm because it is, you know, a blanket hoodie. So it's cuddly and warm and snuggly for him. And he's like clawed away at it enough to make it his perfect little bed. And yeah, he just curls up and he's very content on it. So, and we're content because it means he's got a space to go that isn't beside Mum to make her eyes swell up and her all itchy. Yeah. That was my theory too, is I wouldn't even worry about washing it because then it smells like human. Although he does love sleeping on freshly washed towels as well. It's a problem. We can't leave towels anywhere because they become his bed too. And then we have to wash the towels again. That was his bed for a while because we accidentally left some towels on the couch and then he was like, my bed. I was like, ugh. So they stayed there for quite a while, and that was his bed for a good while. Still got so much more lamington. Alright, if I move that... Sorry, hitting the camera. Actually, I think it was better if I go like that. And then I go like that. That'll help a bit with the shadow. Okay. So it's still going to get a little bit of shine reflect. There we go. Now you don't get the shine reflect. But yeah, you can see still getting a little bit of shine reflect on the face there. But you can see now we have a black kitty with a warm brown undertone, like Shadow when he's been sun bleached, and we've got a little white spot on his belly too. So I still need to do a little bit of darkness around his face because there's still a few areas of light patch around his face. Then obviously we still need to do his eyes and his ears and all that sort of stuff, and his paws. But by putting down that brown layer first and then working our black over the top, it filled in all the texture of the page, but also gave us a really cool, gave us the perfect shadow color. So now we just have to figure out inside his ears and his tongue. He does have a pink tongue, but it's not like pink. It's like peachy pink. They really do love sleeping on laundry. I have a terrible amount of times where I've put clean laundry on my bed, like taking it off the lines, folded it, put it in the bed to put away in the cupboards. In a little bit I'll go do something and I'll come back to put my laundry from the bed into the cupboard, and he's found it and he's on the bed. It's like, Shadow, I should really, like, you know, I've taken all the effort because when I've put it out to dry and like I'm taking it down from the line, I'll fold it and then put it in my baskets. So it's not like just me taking it off the line. I fold it as I take it off the line and put it in the basket folded so that it goes on the bed and then it's ready to go into the cupboard pre-folded. But it's like it's taken all the effort to fold the washing as I take it off the line, so I don't necessarily put it away straight away, which is bad, but yeah. I do really want to colour this page next to the introduction page too. I love this one. You can't see where I'm pointing. I go out there. Now you can see it. I love this one here. So cute. With the little strawberries, plants, and the little flowers. So, so pretty. Such a gorgeous book. Little bunnies, little duckies. So yeah, it's not all every page is Leon. There's a lot of other pages in here. Some of these images are actually from the Colouring Heaven 100 issue as well. Sneely wheelie. But I also love that this book comes with these as well. I think these are really neat. Leon watching Lily. Artist owl. So cute. Oh, I'm so excited to get more of this book done. Yeah, I like these because they're just like little ones as well. So you can just focus on one little one. And do one little one at a time too. Like you don't have to do a big whole page. You can just do one of these little squares. Which I think is quite neat. I've seen a lot of people doing this one as well. Super, super cute. Right, getting distracted. I want this book, but I'm waiting a while because hopefully Amazon Australia gets it at some point. I would imagine so, particularly when the English edition comes out, because of course it's just a Japanese version at the moment. But they usually get put into English, so I'm pretty sure once it comes into English, it'll become a lot more available. Or it could just become like Story of Precious Cats. I've seen Peeps do the ice cream cone kitty. Yeah. I've seen the one. I've seen done the one with ice cream. Yeah, a lot of people have done the ice cream one. That's a very popular one. That one there. Very, very popular. I've seen a lot of people doing that or working on that one. But yeah. This reminds me of Rita Berman's minis as well. But it's all animals around the world, which is very, very cool. There's no kiwi, but there is a kangaroo. These dolphins as well, which is cool. I love the chef frogs as well beside it. Just, these are a lot of really good pages in here. I love that as well, of Leon just looking at the ocean with the garden framing, the way it's framed. Just really gorgeous. Rainy day fashions for animals. So good. Ugh. Too many pages there. I want to colour. I need to colour in mine. I've still had it for several months, along with several other Japanese books. Lisbeth, yeah. Yep. You'll get to it when you get to it, though. That's the thing. Like, you can't force yourself or rush through doing the page until you're ready to do the page. Because if you force yourself or you rush yourself, it just doesn't turn out right. Right, so I'm going to use a little bit of cinnamon because I know that's like a warm peachy pink with a bit of brown mixed in, and I think that'll work quite well for the ears. So Shadow's ears are quite a bit lighter, but they are brown grey, but they do have a warm pinkish tone to them. And then we need to do his tongue as well, so we'll bring out, I don't know what it's been renamed to. It's 131. This is an older one, so they still call it medium flesh, but it is not medium flesh. They've been renamed because they've acknowledged that flesh is not the correct term for these colours, which is good. We'll pull out a little bit of pink carmine as well, so get a really big pink boost. If I have one that's popular, I seem to not colour it till it's not as popular anymore. I'll copy someone without noticing. Fair enough. Yeah, I feel like watching people colour certain books makes me want certain books, but then I don't necessarily jump into colouring them until I'm ready to colour them. Not that I've been looking at books, but I'm like, I don't need any books right now, and I haven't felt like buying any books, which is good. Because I feel right now the only one that I've been looking at getting is Wondrous Folk, which is the Christine Caron new book, because it's available from Australian publishers, and I can buy it directly from the Australian publisher, which means it's actually quite cheap shipping. Which I think is like Blue Sky Publishing or Blue Angel Publishing or something like that is their name. But yeah, I haven't purchased it yet. I'm not in a rush to purchase that one. The only books I want is Hannah Carlson, but the iMusic shipping, yeah. I have so many lovely new Hannah Carlsons to work in, so I'm like, yeah, I don't need to rush, because I was also gifted Atlantis, so I just did the title page in Atlantis, but I did do that one recently. Alright, we're going to use a little bit of carmine to really bring out the pink of this tongue, because we want this to be different than the ears. We want a bit of pink. Yeah, for sure. I'm still not taking buddies at the moment, just because I'm still trying to find that spark and groove. It's very similar to what you were saying, you know, like, just haven't been as motivated. Apart from colouring on stream, I have not been colouring. So, yeah. There was a little bit the week that I was in bed, but genuinely, I've been playing video games. That's still where my brain is at. And it's possible it is, like, because it's winter, right? And winter, I do tend to get winter sads and just bunker down, and yeah, I haven't been colouring as much, and that's okay. You know, sometimes that's the great thing about the hobby, is it's there when we need it, but it's also content to sit there until we need it. So if you don't need it, if you need something else, right now I've been needing video games. And so that's what I've been playing. And colouring will sit there and chill and vibe until we get there. And I'm still colouring, again, streams. But outside of streams, I have not been colouring, and that's okay. I'll find my groove again. It's just, yeah, I haven't had my groove for a while. Yeah, absolutely. I know, basically, if I ever get in the mood to do a Millie or a Hannah, then I can message you and go, hey, yo, I'm thinking about doing this one. There's certain peeps I have locked in my brain that if I'm working on a page, I should message them, because they'll probably join me for that page. For certain artists. It's the same thing with Stardust and Hannah Carlson. If I'm looking at Hannah Carlson, not Hannah Carlson, sorry, Christine Caron. I know words. Right. Now what am I doing? I used the cinnamon, and I want to get some warmer browns, because we want to just add a layer of brown over all of these ears. Because while the cinnamon is there, we need to just darken it ever so slightly, particularly in the areas that should be darker. And then a little bit of Payne's Grey. So Payne's Grey over that nose to cool that down. And just grey and cool it down a bit. I've kept it as I probably, yeah. I will get back to it eventually, Lizbeth, as well. Because I was thinking about the other day, and it's like, oh, I need to work on that one. But again, I have not been I haven't been working on things. And right now, like, the whips are piling up and all that sort of stuff. And it's like, it's fine. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'm not putting any pressure on myself because I just need to find my groove again. And I just haven't got the groove at the moment. And that's okay. These things happen with colouring. At least this time, like 2 years ago this time, I had a period like this where I coloured, but I didn't track anything. I didn't keep track of it. And I can't remember what I coloured in that time. At least this time I'm writing down and keeping track of what I am managing to colour. But yeah, I haven't done like completed pages videos. Apart from streams, I haven't been colouring. At least this time I'm like streaming, still colouring, stuff like that. Like, I know this funk. I've been in this funk before. It just takes me a while to get through it, and it usually happens around this time because this time, winter sads and other things. So it's just like one of those known. There's certain points in the year where I know me and my mental wellness, and it's for various reasons. And winter, it's always winter sads. But as I said, it's a beautiful thing about colouring. It's there when we need it, and when we are not in need of it, it'll be there waiting for us. So, you know, I would love to like be smashing through all the new books and showing all the love to all the pages and getting all these things done and all that, and it's like, and that's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Alright, I'm happy with that ear. So it is very similar to the body, but there is a little bit more of a warm pink that is coming through that, just the slightest tint. One of my favorite things about polys is because you can layer in tint colors. That's why I like polys so much. Right, 189, 280, and because this uses colors that we've already used, and this is definitely 181 because 131 is the medium flesh, not that, whatever they've renamed it to. I've got an old pencil that hasn't been. I'm guessing that, so I still have to do the seal milli page, but I know I want the page to look, but just not feeling inspired for anything. Yeah, it's valid. I'm not particularly pleased with how my seal one turned out. I just kind of did it. Like, it was fun. I just wanted to play with paint pens, so I just did it all in paint pens. And it's not my favourite thing in the world, but I did it. It was fun to experiment. Right, there's Leon done. Now, we have the fun time of trying to figure out these ones. Because I don't have plans in mind for anyone else in here. Oh, apparently it's International Fries Day. Well, how charming. Right, Google Translate. Camera. Leon, stray cat. Living in a rural area. Although he's good at fighting, he's also carrying a centimetre. Oh, Leon's a stray? I did not realise Leon was a stray. Lily, domesticated cat. Girl. She is proud and moody. She has a secret mouse friend named Marie that her owner doesn't know about. Also, fun fact, if you ever are like Google translating these, and so it says domestic cat girl, he is proud and moody, it's because in Japanese, she and he don't exist. It's just like a reference to that person. So gendered she and he does not exist. So that's why sometimes it'll say like it's a girl, but then he. Just the gendered terms don't exist. Yeah, I feel like latte and mocha is such a like, they need to be latte and mocha coloured. Brother puppies, both boys. They're innocent and always full of energy, but even the owner can't tell the difference. So they are meant to be completely identical. And then Baron is an owl. He is nocturnal and therefore fort to be quiet, but he's actually a leader who likes to take charge. He has a secret that he hasn't told anyone. Now, I'm not particularly good at dog breeds, but do we think like Golden Labrador, I think is the, like, do we think like that sort of breed, like Labrador breed? No, Golden Labrador is a particular, but like Labrador breed. Is that what we're kind of thinking for those? Yeah. Latte and mocha. Let's have a look at some images. I mean, a mocha is just slightly darker, really, than because of the chocolate. So one's going to be slightly more chocolate coloured and one's going to be slightly more golden coloured. I mean, it says that they're identical, but who says that they have to be identical like that? We could put... They are lab puppies? Okay, cool. I did guess the breed right there. Labrador puppies. It's one of like the few breeds of puppies I actually know. Oh, okay. So I'll admit I am more a cat person than a dog person. I'm the first to admit it. But my gosh, they're cute. They're cute. Look at the little trios. Yeah, so I'm kind of like this coloring here. This kind of screams to me like maybe a bit of a latte color. Like, it's a bit on the gold side, but it is giving sort of like latte. I mean, I drink black coffee, so you know. This is more my coffee coloring. Just look how cute. Look at the cuties. My youngest brother. Oh, I wonder if I have a photo of it that doesn't show my brother. Okay, this might be worth me having a quick look. Give me a second. Oh, I need to clean up that folder. Anyway, documents. Nah, it doesn't look like I have a photo. Okay. My brother was, when he was little, he got a birthday present from my aunt and uncle in Auckland. They sent down this massive box. It was as big as him. And we were all like, what the heck is this? And he opened it up. And it's this ginormous Labrador dog plush that was black. It was so cute. It was the length of his bed. His kids now have it. I can't remember what he called it, but it was such a cute plushie. It was huge as well. It was so cool. Yeah, no, I think we will do coffee coloured. And we'll just keep them. We'll do one slightly more chocolatey. Even though they're meant to be identical, I think it would be fun to make mocha more chocolatey. And then like latte and actual coffee coloured. Because I really like the chocolate browned Labradors as well. Like, look at this cuteness. Look at that little guy. I love that colouring. And like this one here. I love that colouring. So yeah, we'll do a more tanned and coffee colouring. And then we'll do a more chocolatey colouring as well. So that gives us the puppies. But there's also a kitty cat. Now, it definitely looks like some sort of long-haired breed. Grey and white. Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe like a Persian grey. In fact, this one here, that has a very similar face shape. And very similar markings. Same with this one up here. Like, that one's more of a tabby. Cuties, cuties, cuties. But yeah, this one here, with the way that that face is done, is very similar to the shape of this face here. And the markings that are already done on there. So that could work really well as a little bit of an inspiration. And do a more grey and white. Yeah, because then everything is a brown, exactly. Because we'll have black, but with brown shadow. We can do more pure grey for Kitty, for Lily. And then the two browns for the dogs. Because ours are brown. They can also be snowy white. But also, while the animals themselves may be browns, they'll be like, they're always in situations where there's lots of areas to put colour around them, so it's quite cool to keep them various shades of neutral, so that we can introduce other colours too. But yeah, I like the idea of doing a grey and white, because it's quite pretty and quite a good contrast. No. So yeah, when as I colour this, I'm not going to track like the frog or the bits around or like the signs or like the flowers or anything like that. We will do Lily's ribbon because that is featured. And we're not going to track the colours of the chick, for example, or stuff like that. We're just going to track the cat, the dogs, the owl. We will track Marie because Marie is also featured again as well. So yeah, so we're not going to track every colour on this page, but we will track those ones. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's nearly midday. How? Okay. Damn it, did exactly what I didn't want to do and get coconut in the hole of my teeth. There we go. I do love Leamingtons, but you got a big hole that food can get stuck in. Not great. Ooh. Maybe a light tan mouse buddy? Yeah. Something could be quite a good contrast. The little mouse also has a ribbon, so yeah, we'll decide that in a moment. The question is, what one color book should I do? I have 10 of them. I mean, if you can't decide, put it on a spinning wheel and let fate decide. So we're gonna have our Payne's Grey out again, but that's gonna be sort of like the equivalent of our black. It's going to be our darker colour. Oh, I haven't done the eyes. I'll come back to the eyes. The grey and white cat has similar coloured eyes. We're also going to want a little bit of our pinks, because we're going to need that. I think we're going to go a little bit more in the cooler greys. So we're just going to pull out all the cool greys. Because we'll use the darker ones in the dark grey and the lighter ones in the light grey. And then... yeah, I think we'll follow a little bit more of like the Persian grey markings where it's more of a cooler grey. Just so we've got that contrast. Yeah, cool grey kitty, yeah. And so it's that contrast between the warm black of Shadow / Leon and then the cool grey of Lily. Or it's not Lily / Lily, it's just Lily. Because I don't have a pointer lens. Right, so first things first, we're going to need you way sharper because we've got to get into some very tiny areas here. Because your nose be tiny. So this is the cinnamon. And the 131. I want to say it's peach, but I think peach is the lighter one. And then a little bit of carmine pink. And we're going to use... no, not walnut. No use this walnut. A little bit of walnut. Such a tiny little area for 4 colours. Tiny little area, 4 colours. Oh, here comes that rain. It wasn't actually meant to start until after 6 PM tonight, so hopefully because it's come early, it's going to like not be as heavy. Those are the words I'm looking for. Oh, it took me a minute. Right. She's going to be pretty. Thank you. I hope so. Okay. So we're going to kind of work opposite to how we did with Shadow. Because if we have some little white extra furs coming through with Lily, it will actually be alright. We're going to start with the Payne's Grey. And start doing little strokes. Now we want more of our Payne Grey in the darker areas. But we also need to work out where these markings start and end. So it's pretty easy on the face. And if we bring a little bit and we say that like this front part is white, and we'll do the back in the grey. So if the front part was white where it's extra long fur, and then we can do grey for the paws. We'll just do all the paws grey, and then we'll say that part of the tail is white. So, yeah, we'll do like a dip dye tail. So like the bottom half of it is white. So it goes from grey to white. I think that'll actually be quite cute. That way we can keep the grey around the Marie, and then here it can just sort of start transitioning into white. I think that'll work quite well. So now comes lots and lots of little strokes to build up fur texture. And again, trying to keep them a little bit more concentrated where the darker colour would be. So anywhere where we would have a bit of shadow. And then as it fades out, pick up other colours. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Helps if you don't drop the pencil too. Hi Brittany, welcome in. Oh, we're up to the Itchy Brain album. Sometimes I don't mind this album, and then sometimes I'm just like, no thank you. Some days it's like, I can't have that album. It's just too much for the brain. Some days I'm like, my brain likes this album today. That's why I call it the Itchy Brain album. So now we're working with Cool Grey 6. Working back over where those lines are. And adding more lines on top. Keeping a nice sharp pencil for this. It's always great. Also quite handy if you've got sandpaper, because then you can just sandpaper to a sharp tip. Right, I'm going to colour a little bit over the name there, because I'm actually going to go over the names with a gel pen anyway, so probably do all the names in gold. So I'm going to just pencil over the name a little bit there. Way better vibes for kitty colouring, exactly. Sometimes the Itchy Brain album is like an okay vibe, but then sometimes it's like, no thank you. That's why I call it Itchy Brain. Some days it's good, some days it's like, nope, 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 nope. Tell you what, my brain is going sleepy, 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 sleepy. Oi. Some pages deserve that chaos though. But yeah, not this one. This is not a chaos page. Right, now we start getting into my tiny pencils. All my cool greys. Apart from cool grey 6. They're pretty tiny. Oh, and cool grey 1. So this is cool grey 4. We're just working in order from darkest to lightest. Same thing. Work over where we've worked. Add in more lines. Keep a nice sharp pencil. Slowly extend a little bit towards the white areas. I still want a Lamington. Sorry. Oh my goodness. I've still got like... I'm nearing the end. Nearing the end. Oh, I'm reaching like... The sponge in a Lamington is so soft that it like falls apart. So I get quite messy sometimes. That's where I'm at. I'm up to the messy part. Ah. It's absolutely delicious. Completely unnecessary, but absolutely delicious. So with this one I am starting to work a little bit more into the white areas and doing the more shadows on the white areas. Just a little bit. We don't want too much of number 4 here. But even in the white we would have some shadow areas. So we do need to start bringing in more into the lighter areas. Because as we finish up here with number 3, that'll fill up most of the darker grey sections. So it'll really be up to the lighter sections. Do, 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 do. So I'm still not going over everything because we'll use number 2 to actually colour over the whole grey area and make sure we've got everything sort of covered. But even if we don't have everything sort of covered, it still works. It just looks like white furs. The point is to do lots and lots of little strokes and just be building up texture. Texture is the name of the game here. All good, Becky. You have a wonderful sleep. May you find that rest that you so deserve. Right, now we're up to grey number 3. I didn't realise we were on grey 4 there because I know number good. That's fine. We are going to need to work some more darker ones on the face there because that's getting a bit... Oh, good, double A. And welcome back, Perfection. And kia ora, Raiders. Welcome in. No, my pencil just broke. Hey, Sammy. How was your stream? Hey, bye. Oh my goodness, I'm about to lose my pencil entirely. Maybe time to retire this little one. I think we can just get enough out of there. Maybe. Welcome in. How was your stream, Sammy? How's your sewing going? We are zoomed in. I could do words. But we're working on this page from a book called Leon's Journey. This is Leon up here, who is a stray cat, and it's his adventures. We are colouring Leon as if it is Shadow. And so that's why we've got a black kitty up there. It's looking a little shine reflecty, but it is Shadow's black with the warm brown undertone. Still got to colour his eyes, but yeah. So we've been colouring Leon / Shadow, and now we're just working on Lily down here. It's a very, very cute book. If you like colouring kitties, which, you know me, I love colouring kitties. Also, we've been eating a lamington because I got given a lamington, so we've been discussing Kiwi treats, such as delicious lamingtons. I have 2 halves of pants now. That's pretty good. That doesn't take long then to put together usually. That being said, I've only ever made baggy pants, so to try and make fitted pants, probably not just bung it all together. Yeah. I could probably let him in now with eaten our words. Lamington. I told you, I ain't got words today. The words aren't wording. The brain ain't braining. I've had so much coffee today. I should be more functional, but nah. Brain's just like, does not exist. I'm very much like, I cannot wait for work to be done. I get the feeling tonight I'm just going to play Sims all night. I'm just very much in a video game mood at the moment. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting done, getting back into it, and carrying on with my game. After raid and fade, I hope you love the stream. All good. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day too, hun. Sorry, I didn't do the whole raid and fade thing. I didn't even do the introduction if there's anyone here who hasn't been here before. I'm really good at streaming today. Hi, I'm Amy. This is my stream. You kind of get what you get here, because some days my brain don't work. Today, brain don't work. I'm hearing all the sounds of the rain on the roof, and it's making me so sleepy as well. It's just like, you know, peaceful rain sounds. We're colouring kitties. I'm all cozy and warm. I've eaten sugar, and now my brain's like, But yeah, I hope you're all doing well out there. If anyone is colouring along, what are you colouring? if anyone's joined us and is like, I also feel sleepy, it's good. We have a lot of people that just lurk and have me up in the background because I'm a good chill stream. So feel free to do that. Feel free to say hi, but feel free to lurk and be in the background if you're more comfortable with that too. We're chill here. I just colour kitties. I promise I colour more than kitties, but I colour kitties. Alright, so I've got that Payne's Grey, which was the first colour that we put down for our little grey kitty. And we're going to work back over our grey section, our dark grey section, because we have technically got a grey and white kitty here. We're going to deepen up some of these greys. Bye, I don't know if you're still around, but if you are, I ended up purchasing, I did purchase 2 more Sims packs with the sale, and I got Horse Ranch. And it reminded me of your Barbie house build. Yeah, we really want to build up sort of like a cool grey tone, which I think we're getting there. But we also want to be careful not to go too dark grey, because we don't want it to read as another black. Like, we do want very clear grey and white, but we also want to keep like a little bit more on the grey side than the black dark side, like we've done with Shadow / Leon. I might need to pop to the bathroom soon. Get that tiny one if I can. That one might be a retirement one soon. Getting pretty tiny. So I got Cool Grey 5 here. Okay. So, the one last thing to do nice new fresh paint pen. We'll do a little bit of this on shadow too, because we'll have to do the whiskers and stuff. But there's all these little black lines, and we're going to cover all those up, and then we're going to add in some sharp white highlights. Now this might be something that the camera really doesn't pick up on all that much. That's one of those touches. It's just going to add another layer to Lily and just make her white look even whiter, which will make her grey look even greyer. Because again, the black lines, they can kind of work on the black cats, but I don't like them so much on lighter coloured cats. And then we can take a couple of these and also do these in the grey section. And I like doing these around the edges too, because you get a lot of lighter hairs around the edges of cats. And it just feels like it makes them fluffier. So just really small little bits. Works really well for long-haired cats, which is what this Lily is. Again, still following the direction of the fur. There's certain areas where there wouldn't be as many, so it's okay. We're not doing a lot there, we're just doing a couple across the edges. And then if there's too many in one area or you're not happy with it, or like me, I've got a couple of paint lines that joined up, you can just use a pencil and go in and scratch off or like thin out the lines a bit. I like it. And then the other big thing that we'll be trying to do big solid lines for is their whiskers. And then we're going to do a couple of longer ones above the eyes, because cats often have long whiskers above the eyes too. I probably should have waited till I'd done in the ears for, but I want to do it now. So yeah, we still have to do the white whiskers and white furs on shadow, and we will bring a bit of this into his... Actually, we got it out, we might as well do it now. So yeah, we're going to bring in a little bit of white. Now we have to be careful here because this is going to be quite a strong contrast to the black around it. So you want to be real, like, on the hesitant side with the paint pen. Because we want a little bit of white fur, a little bit of spread out, but we don't want like pure white in there because it's also in shadow. Again, I probably shouldn't do this part till I've done all the background and stuff like that, but sometimes we like finishing these things off now. Shadow definitely has little eye whiskers, and I'm going to use my finger to just lighten these up ever so slightly. Just take the slightest edge off them because they're there, but they're not as intensely there, because they're sort of like you catch the light and then you see these big long strands. I'm going to fade out these ends. I'm just using a pencil over the top of the paint pen to just sort of take down the intensity of it. See, it's just not. Boom. Highlight. Yeah, just a little touch. But it just makes it more three-dimensional. Okie dokie. So, we still have the ears to do on here. So, looking at a lot of the grey kits, it's kind of similar to the shadow where it's got like the pinky undertone, but it's kind of greyed out. Before we do that though, very important job. Write down our colours. 6, 5, 4, 3, tiny 2, and 1. So we've got 181 for Payne's Grey, and then we want 235, 234, 233, 232, 231, and 230. Right, that is 223 instead of 232. So that's what my brain do. Lily Fair. Okay, so we want back to similar colours that we used on the nose. I'm going to take cinnamon, work that in the ears. We want a little bit more pinky, so we're also going to make a little bit of the pink. And we're going to take our Payne's Grey. One, 8, 9, 1, 2, 4, 1, 8, 1. That is ears. Okay, so Lily does have a ribbon. And that might be one of the big things left to decide. We've also got their eyes, which their eyes are both going to be like golden. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Where'd the toothpick go? Thank you. We did. We finished her. We added a little bit of white paint pen as well to make her a bit fluffy, and then we went back to shadow and added a little bit of white paint pen to shadow. And now I'm just going to pull up some eye colors. I'm getting coconut out of my teeth. Only problem with Lamington. Coconut in the teeth. But it's yummy. We're up to the last bite. If it will stay on my fork. Or not. And then rubbish, which can be composted. Okay. Oh, stretch. Right. What are we pulling? So they're golden yellow, but they've got a slight tint of green. So I think just a little touch of a green. It's one of those, we're going to pull out 4 colours for the tiniest of areas again. A little bit of that, I think, will be what we need. Just such a tiny little area. And then make that white really pop of the eyes. I'm going to clean up that black. And then because I forgot to do it before, because shadow does have just the slightest, shiniest nose. So you really probably can't see most of those colours in there, but anywhere where we have a bigger close-up, like we're going to want to have those 4 colours on hand for his eyes. So, oh my goodness, another raid. Candy the King. Hello, hello. Talking about OGs on Twitch. Ah, I just about dropped the pen on the page. All right, let me get some numbers down. And you can have all my attention. 268. So it's 185, 268, 166, and 177. And that is the eyes. Kia ora, everybody. Candy Raid, hello, hello. Undies, great name, by the way. And Choco the Bright, hello, hello. This book looks so cool. This book is gorgeous. Let me zoom you out a bit so you can see what we're up to. Kia ora to all our raiders. If you haven't been here before, hi, my name's Amy. I am a colorist based in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and I colour in adult colouring books. like this one here. So you can see we've been working on a beautiful black cat, very much inspired by my cat Shadow, called Leon in this book. And we've also been working on a little cat called Lily here. There's also Papa's, yes, that is Latte and Mocha. And there's also an owl. This book is called Leon's Journey and follows Leon, who is a stray cat, on his adventures throughout the world, basically. So, yeah. So I made Leon be inspired by my clingy little cat, Shadow. This is Shadow here. This is him being very upset at me that I wouldn't give him cuddles last night because I'm not currently allowed to lift him because I'm recovering from a surgery. And he was very sad that I would not pick him up and cuddle him. So that's our Shadow there. So you can see Shadow is a black cat, but he gets a lot of sun bleaching because he lays in the sun. So he goes like quite warm brown a lot. So that's what we did for Leon. And yeah, we've just been working on Lily and colouring in Lily. So she's a grey and white cat. And we're just about to colour her eyes. Latte and Mocha are of course going to be Labradors. And we're going to do, they're meant to be identical twins, but we're going to do one more chocolatey and one more golden. Because I just love the colours of chocolate labs. And then we have a little bear in the owl. But yeah, this is Leon's Journey by Kanoko Egusa. It's a really cute book. And really enjoying colouring in it. The puppies, yeah. Love the puppies. I'm more of a cat girl than a dog girl, but I can appreciate cute puppies. I do love puppies. They are very cute. But, yeah. I'm more a cat girl at heart. I do like my kitty cats. It doesn't help that I'm also mildly allergic to puppies, so that makes it a bit better. I'm also possibly mildly allergic to kitty cats, so I certainly sneeze a lot every time Shadow rubs up against me. And get itchy a lot, so probably just slightly allergic. It's probably more the pollens that they carry on their fur. Because I'm definitely allergic to outside. Right, so back to Lily. So blue-green eyes for Lily is a recommendation from AA, and I like that because we can take the greens that we use. Nah, I think we'll go a different blue-green. In fact, if we do like a blue-green, we could also do blue for her ribbon because she does have a ribbon that she wears throughout the book, and you see in a few other pages. Look, there's a horsey. Leon goes exploring on a farm, so there's all sorts of animals and stuff he encounters. More than just the main characters. These are just the characters you see a lot. Yeah, there she is there. So she's got her ribbon there. She's got her ribbon there. Like, she wears her ribbon a lot. So if we did blue-green eyes, we could do like a blue ribbon. Yeah, like a blue-green ribbon and tie it into her ribbon, like her owner, because Lily is owned. And tie that colour into her eyes. Yeah. Cat with blue-green eyes. I do know the colour that you're referring to as well. Oh, I typed blue-grey eyes, but it's actually coming up with the colour. So we're meaning sort of like this colour where it's blue, but it's got a slight tint of green on the edge. Not like, although I do love the vibrant blue of those eyes, but that's got to be edited. I do love the Siamese with the bright blue eyes, so so pretty. But yeah, there where you get like the bluish green. Yeah. I knew the colour you were meaning, AA. I knew the vibes. Knew what you were meaning. Okay. Okie dokie. So what it actually is, it's a blue-grey. But it's a more greenish blue with a hint of grey in it, which is fine because then we can use the greys that we've used on Lily anyway. Like, easy to tie in. We're going to pull it out. We vibed across continents. Actually, You know what? I think earth green is actually going to be the mood. Yeah, because then we get our grey green in that, and then we can just add blue to that. And that means we can pull out the really vibrant blue. Great thing about using a recording sheet is you can also use it as a tester sheet. Yeah, there's our colour. There's our colour. Perfect. And then we can just use a bit of fantastic. And then what we will do is for the ribbon, we won't put so much grey in it. We'll put more of the blue teals, I reckon. Pull a few options out. We'll start with the eyes. I got a scoop, but have been colouring this beautiful book. All good, Candy. Sorry, I didn't do the whole raid and fade thing. And it's the second raid I've had in a couple of minutes, and I did it before either. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Sam. Having one of those days. But yes, please do the self-cares. We like the self-cares here. Do the raids and fades. I do words good. I do brain good. This is common thing. A good streamer. Oh, goodness. Okay. And so this one doesn't have the eyes blacked in, so we're going to have to also go in with some black, but we'll start with our earth green and then layer on our blue. And that gives us our grey-green blue. I was a bit heavy-handed with the colours there, but that's okay. It'll still work. And we're going to take our Cool Grey 6 and just use that to do a little bit of a shadow on top. And then we'll grab the black and use that to colour in. But I'm not going to record the black in the colours because otherwise I'll think that's black in the actual blue of the eye. What I've got on the side here, this is a little tracking sheet because this book follows certain characters. I want those characters to remain consistent throughout the book, but if I don't come back to this book for 6 months, I won't remember what colours I chose unless I go back and watch this entire VOD. I'm not going to do that. So I have this little tracking sheet. I'm just writing down the colours for each of the characters, and then I'll keep this with the book. Then when I come back in 6 months, I can pull this out and go, ah, yeah, that's right, I was doing this. Right, and then the last thing to do is just clean up and amplify that little highlight spot. And add a secondary one, which I forgot to do up here. And then we will do a little highlight on your nose. And then, so for the actual ribbons, we'll take the inspiration of the blue, but we won't use as much of the greyness of it. So it'll still be in the same family, but it'll be a little bit more vibrant than the sort of grey-green blue. We might still pull out a little bit of grey for shading on the shadows. This one is, what is this? Prussian blue. It's getting a bit small. And then we'll use a bit of the bluish turquoise. Also add in a little bit more of that greenish tint too. So it's like a blue with a green undertone. I need to go back to the bathroom. What's the time? Oh my goodness, it's nearly 1 p.m. Oh. I wonder if I do place that little grocery order and get an energy drink delivered as well, some cola. And see if Mum needs anything else delivered. I do feel bad for anyone delivering in the weather right now though. It's just also $20 delivery fee. That's the problem. I just struggle with the cost of delivery fees, which I'm not saying you shouldn't have a delivery fee. Like, it's a service. You're paying for a service. I begrudge paying them because I can normally go and get them myself. But I can't right now. No let it drive. Alright, we'll use a little bit of the cold grey and we'll use that to do some shadows. And that'll also bring a bit more of the grey tone into it. Oh. 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 If you weren't aware, sneezing hurts. Sneezing hurts when you're post-op. Whew. It's one of the few times I am reminded I am still healing. And that's another reason why we've kept people away, because the last thing we want to do is get sick. Doesn't stop allergies. I like that, and it picks up on just like the littlest tint of the eye as well. I don't know how well it's going to be picking up. Oh, hello, shadow. Yeah, so I don't know how well it's picking it up, but yeah, a little bit of blue repeated in the ribbon. I think that's going to be real pretty, and blue and grey is such a pretty combo too. I hear you, kitty cat. I know. It's so wet and miserable. You're probably outside a bit longer than you're meant to be. You can wait a minute, because I just sneezed and my belly hurts. Ow. You should, ow, not be clawing me. Ow. Don't claw my leg. Oh my god, you're freaking desperate. Ow, your claws, your claws, your claws. Oh my god, his claws are like directly in there. Ribbon. Oh. Oh, your claws. Oh, you know you don't claws the pants. You can claws the blanket hoodie, but you do not claws the pants. Oh. Okay. What's the matter? You want scritches or you want treats? You want scritches. You want attention. Now you're trying to be Chaos Monkey and knock everything over, because you can. Alright. If you can get yourself up, you can come up. Should put my walking frame as a jump up set. It won't be enough of a jump up for him. He's old and he's definitely getting a bit of arthritis. He's very hesitant to jump up anymore, which is also why he's yelling at me to pick him up. So, should not be doing have a kitty cat. Yeah, he's straight over to the Lamington bag. He can smell cream. He can smell the residue of the cream. Not on my water bottle, please. Oh, good, Yana. You have a wonderful rest of your evening. It's getting close to 1 PM, so I should probably wrap up myself. I know, but he's gonna keep clawing me. You're so troublesome. You're so troublesome, you know that? You're so naughty. You make me naughty. You're so naughty. Because you're a grumpy old man. You have to have what you have to have. Yeah. And now he's drooling all over me. But yeah, if I bring him around this way, and you can do this. Look up, look up, look up, look up, look up, look up, look up. Look up, look up, look up, look up. Yeah, there you go. You can see his little markings. He's very uncomfortable with all this. It's like, what's going on? You don't normally hold me this way. But yeah, it's probably a good point to end on because we did get through. This is what he's after. This is what he's smelling. We did get through Shadow / Leon, and we did get through Lily. So yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today, and then next stream we'll get on to the puppers and work on the puppers and the owl, and then work on all the bits around them as well, hopefully. Which will be Sunday, which is a Sunday Fun Day, no work stream. And yeah, should be a good time, but it gives me a chance to go and have a nap before work because I think I need a nap. Feeling pretty shot and I need to do work tonight. So yeah, but we've just about made it through the week, and that's always a good sign. Depending how I feel tomorrow, I may also look at doing a stream tomorrow, but we'll see how we feel. Also, how much I want to play The Sims. He's very determined to get the cream. He's saying, how dare you? Yeah, it's this. He wants this. He knows that this is cream. I'm telling you, he's a dairy cat. He knows where the dairy is. But yeah, look after yourselves out there. Take care. All the aroha to you all, and keep an eye out on socials and stuff like that. No, you don't go over there. You stay over here. He's not getting the cream, so now he's heading over to where the treats are kept. I'm going to have to get him off my desk, and we're going to have to go. Come on, Shadow. Come back over here. This is what he's after. Yeah, I'm going to take care of this little troublesome monster and head out for the day. So yeah, all the aroha to you all, and I will see you all on the next stream once I deal with this monster. Bye all. Oh, you're such a little poop. You're such a little poop. You're lucky you're adorable.